With 2 weeks remaining in the regular season, every game carries a little more weight, and this matchup is no different. Both Liberty and Western Kentucky can move one step closer to the CUSA title game with a victory today. It's the Flames and Hilltoppers coming your way next on ESPN+. Let's give you a look at the Conference USA standings coming down the backstretch of the season. The top 4 teams can all make the title game, and they all happen to play each other over these last 2 weeks. In fact, at last check, Jacksonville State leading Sam Houston 14-3 already here today. We'll get to that a little bit more as we progress. We welcome you into our booth alongside Joe Yock. I'm Matt Warner. Let's get into this matchup. Liberty, Western Kentucky. Last week, the Hilltoppers suffered, I think it's fair to say, a surprising defeat, 12-7 at the hands of Louisiana Tech. As you've gone through the film on that one, Joe, was it just a blip on the radar, or is there a bigger cause for concern?
Yeah, I think in college football in general is that these teams each have that one game where it just doesn't go very well. Sometimes you win, sometimes you just can't escape it, and they weren't able to escape it. I do think, however, that Tyson Helton will get this football team right back on track, back to who they are. Most importantly, their ability to have explosive plays downfield. That's where they've had their most success.
Now, for the Liberty Flames, it's been an up-and-down season. Their path, though, to the conference title game is clear. They have to win these final 2 contests. For them to do that, what or who is the biggest key?
Yeah, I think Caden Salter obviously is an important piece of the puzzle. I think that Elijah Canyon at receiver is an important piece. But with the guy who brings his pop, who brings his punch, is Quentin Cooley. He's the one that can level up this offense. That guy, when he's running in between the tackles, he brings a ton of momentum to this offense. He brings a toughness to this offense and to the entire football team, and he inspires each and every one of them. So if Quentin Cooley can get the motor churning today, that is a great sign for the Liberty Flames football team.
Yeah, he has been the heart and soul of that Liberty offense this season. As we take a look at the weather, cool day here in Lynchburg, Virginia. A little bit breezy as well. During warm-ups, you could especially see how that wind could play a factor here today. But other than that, no rain in the forecast. As you take a look at Tyson Helton, what a job he has done at Western Kentucky, 6th season. You take a look at his record. He has his sights set on getting the Hilltoppers to the Conference USA title game. A win today will go a long way towards accomplishing that. On the other side, last year's Conference USA Coach of the Year, Jamie Chadwell, 20-3 in his 2nd season at the helm of the Flames. Western Kentucky won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so Liberty will get the football first.
Yeah, Flames getting the football first and getting the opportunity to get on offense, see if they can get Quentin Cooley. It's going to be interesting to see how Western Kentucky decides to defend them. They have really a multiple style of defense in their fronts. They can get down to a 3, 4, 5-man front. So this is a little bit tricky for Liberty offense on how they read those fronts and the way in which that they can attack them.
Yeah, I feel like there might be kind of a feeling out process here early in this one. That kick is away. Juju Gray takes it from inside his 10. Coming to the near side, trying to turn the corner. Does across the 30, across the 40, still on his feet and taken down at midfield. But a flag on the play. A couple of flags down on the play. This one may be coming back, and if so, it kind of tells the story for what it's been like for Liberty this season.
Yeah, what a great return. Juju Gray was able to hit it up in there and then bounce to the outside. And then obviously this coming back with a holding call on the return.
Liberty 131st in the nation in penalty yardage.
First down, Liberty.
So that erases a big play to start this ball game, and will back the Flames up. They will take the ball from their own 20. So Caden Salter leads this Liberty offense. Salter, last season's Conference USA MVP, preseason player of the year. His numbers haven't quite stacked up to what he did a season ago. In fact, the Flames really in the last 4 or 5 weeks have gone away from the passing game quite a bit. First play, handoff coming near side. They go back to Gray. Just had the big return and picks up about 3 yards on that carry.
Yeah, you really look at Juju Gray. He had suffered some injuries early in the season, but you can tell from that kickoff return and then from that little dip and dive move right there that he's healthy, looks very good, and he is an integral part of this offense if they can keep him involved.
Missed 4 games with injury, but really broke out against Middle Tennessee. Had a rushing and receiving touchdown in that ballgame. Flames may try to get him more involved here today. The give up the middle. There's Cooley gashing that defense across the 40-yard line. And a good start for the man they call the bowling ball.
Yeah, great job by Cooley, but it starts up front with the offensive line. Nice seal block back by the guard and able to open up a large hole for Cooley.
Flames playing with some tempo now. Cooley again right up the gut. Gets 4, maybe 5 on that carry. Cooley 21st in the nation in rush yards. In fact, he went over 1,000 yards on the season with that first carry. First Flames running back with back-to-back 1,000-yard campaigns since Frankie Hickson back in 2019.
Liberty mixing up their set right now, going to a 2-back set.
Vaughn Blue out there along with Cooley. They go right back to number 20. Cross midfield, and looks like he's near that first down marker and will be about a yard shy.
Yeah, you can see early on right now what Western Kentucky is trying to do. They're giving a 3 down front and they're saying, okay, we're gonna, it's the bend but don't break philosophy where they give you the run up the middle. The offensive Liberty has to show great patience in order to stick with it and sort of bleed them out as they move the ball down the field.
So big 3rd down on this opening possession for Liberty. Gray in motion. The give up the middle. Cooley has the first down and another nice pickup as they are hammering it right up inside with Quentin Cooley.
Yeah, good point. Definitely. You look at the impact players, obviously Quentin Cooley. And then the guy on the defensive side for Western Kentucky, Hosea Wheeler, at defensive tackle, he leads the team in tackles. You do not see that very often. A big guy, yet wears the number 0. You got to have a lot of swagger to wear the 0 if you're 6'3", 300 pounds.
Empty backfield. Salter design draw. Trying to turn the corner. Does. Picks up some blocking downfield. And he'll be near another first down. We have seen more designed runs for Salter. We've certainly seen him be more active in calling his own number.
Yeah, and you take it. What Caden does a really good job is you press it upside in order to get those defenders to come in. Then he has the speed to bounce to the outside and pick up that extra yardage.
When these teams met a year ago, Salter ran for 117 yards and a score. So another first down for the Flames. They've yet to put the ball in the air. Pressure comes. They give it to Cooley, and he's dropped in the backfield. Yeah. Closing quickly that time was Kylan Guidry for a loss.
Yeah, you can see what Guidry right does. They did that 3-man front, and they leave what's called the bubble. That means that the guards are not covered. So without the guards being covered, they blitz Kendry right through the middle of that, and they had the right call on at the right time and able to get Cooley in the backfield.
And that was something in talking with defensive coordinator Tyson Summers. He said, we have to pick our spots. We can't let Liberty just get into a rhythm, having big success running the football between the tackles. We're going to have to try to get them off schedule. They do so here. Flames go back to Cooley. He'll get up to the 35-yard line. So it's going to bring up 3rd and about 10 now for the Flames.
Yeah, be interested to see how Liberty plays this 3rd and 10 with the ball being at the 35. Potentially, if you could pick up half of it right here, that could be in a position to go for it on 4th down early in the football game.
Salter has yet to attempt to pass on this opening drive. 2 wide receivers to his right. And now they'll move Juju Gray into the slot.
Man coverage.
Salter climbs in the pocket, fires, has Gray downfield, and just underthrew him. Gray went into a slide, unable to haul it in, but he was open. Yeah, you take a look right here. Caden, as he steps on the pocket, he can feel a little bit of that pressure from the backside and never takes the really chance to step into that throw and put a little zing on it, and he leaves it a little bit short. But yet at the same time, Juju Gray's got to go down low and be able to figure out a way to make the catch on that football. So the Flames bring out the punt team. Max Morgan will boot it. See if he can pin WKU deep.
Yeah, they're just sort of stuck in that no man's land right now. You've got to get this inside the 10-yard line.
Eddie Hutchinson going to let it bounce, and were they able to cover it? The question was, yes, I think they're going to get him down at the 1. The officials now going to get together and make sure as they have a conversation. 3 guys around the football.
Yeah, this was really close, calling it a touchback.
Touchback. So Liberty that close to pinning WKU deep. Instead, they'll get it at the 20 when we return. We've got a tight one here early in the Conference USA.
Welcome back to Lynchburg. At the conclusion of today's game, one team will be one step closer to punching its ticket to that CUSA championship game. But this game is also special because Liberty is honoring its military with military appreciation. And you'll see the Flames are wearing this specialty exclusive helmet to honor the Bedford boys. For those who aren't aware, down in Bedford, Virginia is the National D-Day Memorial, located about 20 miles from Liberty University's campus. Back on June 6, 1944, the small community of Bedford suffered the nation's highest known per capita D-Day loss. Guys, I think we can all come together and say that if it wasn't for those, we wouldn't be playing this game or broadcasting it here today. Really cool story.
Yeah, absolutely, Emily. Great to see Liberty keep that memory alive in their own special way here today. As Western Kentucky takes the field for the first time, there's a look at their quarterback, Caden Veldkamp. Didn't start the year as their QB. TJ Finley did, but after an injury to him, Veldkamp stepped in, and there's been no looking back. The hero of last year's bowl game. This kid is a big-time talent. They really like his deep ball accuracy as he climbs in the pocket here. Slings one into traffic, and it is picked! Amarian Williams picks it off for the Flames! Just 4 interceptions on the season for Liberty coming into the day, but Amarian Williams stepped in front of that pass and just managed to hold on.
Yeah, great job by Amarian Williams. They were trying to run a corner route up on the top, and Veldkamp had to come off of that and come to his second read. And when he did, Amarian Williams comes from the backside, throws it right into his hands. Flames get the first turnover of the game.
Last season, Liberty best in the nation in interceptions, 21 of them. They hadn't come very often here this year, but they get a big one here early in this contest and set themselves up in WKU territory. Blue and Lucas, the 2 backs. Salter pulls it out, now swings it out to Blue, who drops it. Vaughn Blue, the redshirt freshman, been kind of an up and down year for him. Unable to hang on to that one. You take a look, here's kind of the story, right? You go, the strength, the pass game for WKU leading the conference. For Liberty, it's running the football. Which wins out? Well, so far, neither have been able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, and the thing, Matt, is this. WKU is clear in what they're trying to do. They're having a 5-man box. Well, here they brought a 6-man box in, but they're doing in order for them to be able to run the football.
Salter picks his way through that defense, ducks down about 3 yards shy of the first down.
And that's exactly what you have to do, whether that's through the quarterback draw, whether through that's an inside zone, whatever it may be, through trap plays. You've got to be able to run the ball in between the tackles because it's pretty simple right now. Western Kentucky, that's what they're giving Liberty right now, is the inside run.
3rd and let's call it 4 for Liberty. Juju Gray in motion. The keeper for Salter trying to get the edge. He will not get there. Wrapped up and dropped. This defense catches him on the edge, and he's taken down for a loss. Sebastian Benjamin, the first one to get there.
Yeah, and I think this is definitely a situation where you've got to go for it. Once again, they bring that bubble backer blitz. They bring him from the inside, which causes Salter to have to pull the ball, but they do a great job on the outside with the outside linebackers, be able to contain and stop that for little to no gain.
So here you go, 4th down, 4th and 8. Liberty electing to go for it here. 4 wide receivers. Lucas the back to the right of Salter.
Blitz coming.
Here it comes. Salter with some time. Throws it wide of his intended target. Looking for Reese Smith. Would have been well short of the first down marker even if he did haul it in. But Salter off target once again and is still yet to complete a pass here this afternoon. Timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. Still scoreless in Lynchburg. Well, we touched on it earlier. The coming out party for quarterback Caden Veldkamp came a year ago. Bowl game. They were down big to Old Dominion in the famous Toastery Bowl, and Veldkamp came alive. 383 yards, 5 touchdowns. They weren't even sure if he was going to play in that game. And he ends up exploding. Decides to stay at Western Kentucky, had entered the transfer portal, decides to remain there, doesn't win the job out of camp, and yet he's continued to work, grind, and now he's really reaping the benefits of that as he has put together a great season. And I think most people would agree he's been the best, at least passing quarterback in Conference USA this season.
Yeah, don't forget about the big man with 7 rushing touchdowns also.
That's right, that's right. They give it up the middle, hand off to Elijah Young. He'll pick up 4 or 5 on first down. Young, a transfer from Missouri, spent 3 years there before going to WKU last year, leads them in rushing.
Really like Elijah Young is also his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield.
Veldkamp scanning the field, now flush from the pocket, trying to escape. Bush closing in on him, flips it out right on cue. Joe, there's Young again, makes a man fall to the ground. He just shook Jerome Jolly right out of his shoes, and is able to pick up first down yardage for the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, what Young does right here is he's able just sort of buy some time, or Veldkamp buys some time. Young slips through the backside, gets easy on the little drag route coming across, hits a big gainer.
Empty backfield here, 5 wide. Veldkamp, plenty of time, throws down the middle of the field. It's caught. Easton Messer on the reception. And now this WKU offense starting to find a rhythm.
Yeah, and that's what happens. When you go empty and you're going to run verticals, you're going to see they're going to run all verticals right here. And you do that, and you're going to throw the ball down the seam. You have to throw it with conviction, and that's exactly what Veldkamp does.
Messer has really turned himself into one of the more trusted receivers on this roster. This is a roster, like, they are loaded with playmakers at the receiver position. Veldkamp going to keep it, goes nowhere. Jerome Jolly coming down and catching him at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, great job by Jerome Jolly. They did a great job in the jet sweep action. They give jet sweep action, trying to spread the defense, but then Jerome Jolly's able to knife through and make a tackle for a 1-yard loss.
So 2nd and 11 now. You mentioned last week it was a struggle offensively. Just 7 points put on the board by the Hilltoppers against Louisiana Tech. Veldkamp fakes the give, now swings it out to his running back. Has some room to operate, makes a man miss. Still on his feet, now held up and taken down after about a 4-yard pickup. You see some of that elusiveness out of the backfield from Elijah Young.
Yeah, great job by Liberty secondary. They had a zone coverage going. They were able to pass off the 2 deep balls. He had 2 shots to take downfield. Both those guys were covered, and he had to dump the ball off to Young under the middle and then just keep him to a short gain or lead him in a 3rd and long right here.
3rd and 8. 2 receivers to either side. The running back is George Hart.
Liberty, usually a man-to-man team, has decided to play a lot more zone early on in this ball game. They're in zone coverage right now.
Veldkamp fires, strike, connection across the 20, down near the 15. That's enough for the first down. Keyshawn Johnson makes the grab.
And that's exactly what you have to do. If you're going to get zone and they declare it early, you got to be able to find those soft spots. Keyshawn Johnson hooks up right in that soft spot, able to pick up the first down. You can tell right now that Veldkamp is throwing the ball with conviction, throwing the ball with authority, and they're moving the ball at will on the Liberty defense in this drive.
Hart remains in the game at running back. And they'll give it to him. Up the middle, runs into his own man and falls down at the 15. This has been a team that has been especially good throwing the ball. At times, running the football effectively has been a little bit of a problem, including last week, just 63 yards on the ground against Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, and with the way that Veldkamp's throwing the football right now, I would not be afraid to take some tight shots down as they creep into the red zone here at shots at the end zone.
Look at this formation here. Everybody close to the tight ends. There's a lob into traffic. He's intercepted again. Jerome Jolly makes the play. A 2nd interception already for Caden Veldkamp, and the Flames defense turning over the Hilltoppers early.
Yeah, Veldkamp's leading them down, and then all of a sudden the Flames come back with a first turnover to start the ball game, and then another turnover in the red zone. Yeah, here you go. You take a look at this right here. Chris Bodie, number 92, is able to press up the field. And what he does, he gets his arm right in the armpit of Veldkamp, which causes the ball to go in a misdirection, and Jolly able to get the interception.
Yeah, Bodie, one of those big defensive tackles for the Flames. Wasn't a lot, but just enough.
Just enough. Just enough to make the difference, getting that pressure on the quarterback. So Veldkamp has come out throwing the ball real well. One mistake was on him. That one is on the offensive line in their pass protection.
And what a break for Liberty here early in this ball game. A couple turnovers forced. See if they're able to take advantage of it. The run to Cooley. He goes nowhere as he's wrapped up. Good job by that Western Kentucky defense to get to him quickly.
Yeah, what you're seeing Western Kentucky do, Matt, is in that 3 down front is they're giving the look as if the guards are uncovered, which they are, and then they're blitzing the strong side backer. And when they're doing that, he's able to get in the backfield, get the penetration, which is stopping Cooley for some very short gains.
A 2nd and long now for Liberty. Salter still looking for his first completion of this ball game. Not going to come here. He's going to take off. Across the 20, thrown forward. He'll have enough for the first down.
That's a real good job by Salter, recognizing that the inside in the middle of the defense has been spread out right there. He's looking to go downfield, but then he quickly recognizes that the defense has been spread out, able to use his legs to pick up the first down.
Well, and that has been the story for the Flames over the last 4 or 5 weeks. Salter being dangerous as a runner more so than throwing the football. Handoff up the gut. Another nice pickup on first down as Cooley gets about 5. Quentin Cooley already approaching 40 yards rushing in this ballgame. And we have a player down on the field.
Timeout on the field for an injury to the defense.
An injured Western Kentucky player. Looks like that's Anthony Brackenridge, the linebacker, who's down on the turf.
Yeah, you can see, what the way to counter what Western Kentucky's doing with that inside blitz is you'll see Liberty start to work their option game, because when you work that option game and you fake it to Cooley up the middle, that's one less defender that they have to deal with in the quarterback and the pitch. Because as you see in an option game, what that defender wants to do, that inside linebacker, he plays the dive. If it's not there, then he's trying to scrape over the top to get to the quarterback. But if he commits to that blitz, that's one less guy there when Salter pulls out the football, and then he runs that option game with Lucas or Gray to the outside.
Yeah, that's one thing when we were talking to Will Friend, offensive coordinator for Western Kentucky, or excuse me, to Tyson Summers, the DC, he said, we don't want to give up those big plays on the edge. Right. If you get some runs up the middle that are successful, that's going to happen. We cannot let them get out on the edge and find explosive plays in the run game outside. And that's something that he is very mindful of in this ballgame.
Yeah, and I would say this is when you go back and look at how successful Liberty was last year, and their blueprint for success was the explosive plays downfield. So now what you're seeing them do, what defenses are doing, is saying, okay, hey, we're going to give you more of that inside run. You're going to have to show patience. We're not going to allow you to take the chances to be able to have those explosive plays downfield. So defenses have done a really good job this year against Liberty of making them be more patient in their offense.
Well, the story so far here today has been the Liberty defense and the turnovers they've forced. Again, this was a team with just 4 interceptions on the year coming into the day. They've gotten 2 already here in the first quarter. Amarian Williams on the first Western Kentucky possession, and then it was Jerome Jolly on the second one. So this Flames defense, you say, boy, what's the difference? What's been different about this Liberty defense this year? Well, the turnovers haven't been there. And those are things, Joe, we talk about it every week. That can be kind of a fluky, cyclical even kind of thing, where some years it just goes your way, some years it doesn't. It hadn't been going the Flames' way in terms of getting those turnovers this season. Today has been a completely different story. Yeah,
I mean, you look at last year, I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, Matt, but I think they were either first or second in the nation in turnovers.
In interceptions, they were.
In interceptions, yeah. And so it's a defense that did a lot, but like I said, it does get a little secular, and they're able to get a couple here today, which is obviously have them trending in the right direction. Now you have to do the great thing for Western Kentucky is they had turnover on their side of the field, and they're able to make a 4th down stop and get the ball back, and now another turnover in the red zone. So if you get those turnovers, Liberty needs to do something with it.
2nd and 5. two backs on the field, Cooley in blue. They pull it. The option, the pitch to Blue on the edge. Here you go, Joe. You just talked about it. And Von Blue picks up a chunk of yardage.
Yeah, that's exactly it right there. Here comes that blitz from the inside. You can take a look right here. You'll see Cooley comes across, and he's immediately get tackled with the end from the inside. That forces the outside backer to come down and play the quarterback. Salter, great read on the pitch, and you have a big play down the field right there for a first down.
Offensive coordinator Willie Corn told us this week, you know, after that Kennesaw State loss, they basically said, we need to get back to what makes us unique. This two-back system. You're seeing some of it here as Blue takes the carry again. Another nice pickup. He said that's what makes us unique. The two-back system, the threat of the option. Like, we had gotten away from that a little bit early in the season. There was really an emphasis on getting back to the basics for this team.
And so much of this with Caden and the success of this offense has to do with him making the right reads.
Right.
When you make the right reads, you know when to hand it off to the fullback, tailback up the middle, know when to pull it, know when to pitch it, and not turn the football over. That's the thing in the option game. You can easily turn the football over.
Give up the middle. Cooley, little jump cut, lowers his shoulder, gets up to about the 45. Looks like he'll be a yard shy of what he needed. And it'll bring up 3rd and 1. Take a look at what Liberty has done running the football. 5th in FBS, and on the flip side, Western Kentucky, they're 107th in the country in terms of rush yards allowed. Teams have had a lot of success against them recently, including 540 rush yards over the last 2 games against this Western Kentucky defense. They give again to Cooley, lowers the shoulder, mouthpiece is flying. Did the ball come out? Everybody looking at each other. The official that was closest,
I don't think he was ever down. I'm not sure he was ever down. The whistle should never blown.
I'm not sure the folks in stripes are sure.
Yeah.
They're going to get together now and talk about it.
I think it's clearly a fumble, but
a big collision at the end of that play.
Yeah, I didn't look on. I think it's clearly a fumble. But was he ever down? Should the whistle have ever blown? This could have turned out well for the Flames. I know it's a turnover, but at the same time, this could have been a touchdown. Let's take a look. Ball is out, and he could have been. They blew the whistle. He should still be running
on the field. As the ball carrier's knee was down while he was in control.
Ooh.
First down, Liberty at the 38-yard line.
I don't know,
Wow,
Matt.
so they said knee was down. Obviously, that was not the case.
I don't know. This one obviously will be under further review, as they say.
Yeah, it was nowhere
Previous
near
play is under further review.
the knee being down, and they're going to take a look at it, as they should.
I think his knee's down, but the ball had already started to come loose before his knee was down. This is one where they should have never blown the whistle. If you're a WKU fan,
right,
you're thinking this should be a touchdown. Take a look here. You'll see, I believe you'll see as Cooley makes impact.
The collision with Matthews, and then where's the ball? That ball's out.
Yeah, that ball's out.
You could see, in fact, you could see Cooley trying to grasp and find that ball.
Yeah, 100%.
Right there. He's trying to find the football. And unless they say he still had control of it, and honestly, that one knee did go down earlier than I thought initially, but I'm with you.
Yeah.
I don't think you can say he had possession of the football at that point.
And this couldn't, with it being a turnover, like I said, with it being a turnover is one thing, but the fact that they blew the whistle might be the game saver, because really, this should be a touchdown for WKU.
They were going the other way with it.
And there was nobody around.
So you wouldn't think this one would take you. You see what Coach Helton thinks about it. It's like it's pretty plain to him. You wouldn't think this one would take that long.
This is a big break for the Flames. Big break, and you know, Matt.
Even if they turn it over.
Even if they turn it over, it's a big break for the Flames, because what they say is, in a quarterback, was his hand going forward or not?
Right.
Was it a fumble or not? They usually let those things play themselves out, and then they can always go back and review it. This case, they didn't let it play itself out. The ball comes loose, which would have been a touchdown.
Oh, they're going to the second headset. Hold on.
Listen, they just need Yak Talk down there.
I
know. We've been through this before, Matthew. We can settle these replays quickly.
You're efficient. I'll say that. You are efficient.
And decisive. Don't forget that part.
Right. It's already 2 turnovers in this game. Western Kentucky committing each of them, but now the Flames, it appears, will give it right back. Here's the call.
After review, it was determined that the ball was coming loose prior to the running back having a knee down. Therefore, the call on the field is reversed to a fumble recovered by the defense. Western Kentucky ball, first down, 36-yard line.
There you go.
A lot of turnovers in this ball game. Was that 3 to start?
Yeah, been a little sloppy here in the first quarter of this one. You know, a lot on the line. And these teams having a hard time hanging on to the football. So Western Kentucky gets the ball back. A promising drive comes to an end for Liberty as they had first down yardage on that run.
That was a great tough run by Cooley, just like you said. Mouthpieces flying out everywhere and Cooley running tough, but just a great job by ripping the football out and getting the turnover.
So Veldkamp back on the field. Already 2 interceptions here today. WKU needs him to settle in. They're going to hand it off. Young trying to get the edge. Joe Carter rides him out of bounds after about a 3-yard gain.
Liberty's doing a really good job on the interior of their defense. They've made some great stops. So the Veldkamp tried to run the quarterback draw up the middle. They had a couple runs up the middle that have been stopped. They're having to bounce everything. So really excellent job on the interior D-line of Liberty Flames.
Second and about 7. Veldkamp 4 of 6 so far today. It's been those 2. They didn't hit the ground. They just ended up with the wrong team. Takes a shot downfield. Oh, right on target. How about that throw to Dalvin Smith?
Yeah, that's just a fantastic throw. That was one of those throws. You take a look at this throw. That's one of those throws that looks like you should be able to throw that thing up and over the top. He throws it more on a line and just drops in a dime down to the 23-yard line.
Well, that was a beautiful throw and something the coaches rave about with Veldkamp. They say his accuracy downfield is what separates him. As we come to an end here in the first quarter. No score, but boy, there's been a lot of action. Turnovers aplenty here early in Lynchburg as these 2 teams are fighting, scrapping, and clawing, trying to get to that CUSA title game.
Welcome back to Lynchburg. A big game with a lot at stake here in Lynchburg today between Western Kentucky and Liberty, but also Jack State and Sam Houston. There's a lot to play for there. Jack State leading there 14-3. Guys, after that last Western Kentucky interception, Caden Veldkamp was on the sideline reviewing the film on the iPad, and guess which teammate was right there by his side, huddled over and sharing advice and providing support? Yes, former starting quarterback TJ Finley. It's been really cool to see how their relationship has helped and how he continues to support him even though he's in the starting role now.
Handoff going nowhere as that Liberty defense closes quickly. Jerome Jolly making another play. Yeah, there's some of the coaches, they were bragging on TJ Finley. You know, he comes in, transfers in from Texas State thinking he's going to be the guy, goes down with injury, and then Veldkamp just took off. And it'd be easy to sulk a little bit, to feel like, man, that should be me out there. But they said that has not been the case. He has been such a great teammate and such a help to Caden Veldkamp during, this time, the last few games. Finley is back and available. Came back a couple of weeks ago, so he is available should they need him as he continues to work his way back to 100%. Veldkamp going to run the football here and steps out of bounds around the 12-yard line or so. Looks like he may have just enough for another first down.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what Western Kentucky needs to do. As they continue to throw the ball downfield, they're having a rough time in between the tackles in their run game. So just like that, let's just get back in there, get shotgun formation, and go straight old-fashioned power sweep around the corner and attack the edges now.
And this is where Veldkamp really becomes a factor in the run game. 7 rushing touchdowns on the season. A lot of that coming once you get down close to the red zone. Little pitch, Messer coming near side, knocked out of bounds after a short pickup.
And you can see exactly what Western Kentucky is trying to do. Once again, into the short side of the field, able to get the outside run game going. So I think they're starting to figure out that the way that the defensive tackles, that front 4, especially the inside 2D tackles, are doing such a great job. Where the openings are on the edges in the run game, and then have the opportunity down here in the red zone, like you said, with Veldkamp, is such a threat with his legs with those 7 touchdowns.
WKU can pick up a first down before reaching the end zone. Veldkamp going to look to throw it. Fires, catch made, into the end zone, touchdown Western Kentucky. Dalvin Smith on the grab, and then he lunges in to put WKU on top.
Yeah, this is what happened to Liberty. They've just done things a little differently than what they've done in the past. They've been such a heavy man-to-man team. Now they're playing zone, and all you do is you get a little drive route here on the outside. Technically, that should be a pick. That was an offensive pick right there. The inside slot comes by, and as he's trying to come down, he picks the corner and creates a little bit of space. So I'm a little bit surprised that the referee didn't make a call right there, because you can tell that he clearly plants his foot in the ground and tries to make the defensive back adjust his course.
The extra point up and good. The 20th career touchdown grab for Dalvin Smith, and it puts his Hilltoppers in front.
Okay, you can take a look at Easton Messer right here. He's going to come down and he's going to get a nice little pick play on the corner right there, and then there comes the drive route, able to complete the pass and then put it in the end zone. But you can see right here, as you let it roll, Easton Messer comes down, he's got his eyes on him, a little pick, a little catch, a little touchdown. So that's what you saw on the break. Jamie Chadwell was not happy because that made him, the defensive back had to readjust his course because he was picked on that play. There should have been a penalty right there.
Now see, I thought you former receivers all call that like a rub route, or you have your, I thought you old receivers all stick together on that stuff.
Well, you know, every once in a while you got to call it the way it is.
Well, it works nonetheless for WKU, and unlike Liberty, Western Kentucky able to take advantage of the turnover and punch it in. This ball dropped and it goes out of bounds inside the 10. Juju Gray mishandles it, and now Liberty's going to start at their own 8-yard line.
Yeah, and these are the situations. Okay, you're unhappy. Here's the drop right here. Juju Gray, the ball's probably caught up in the sun right there, but there's the drop.
First down.
And here's the time in the game, the first spot in the game with 13-14 left in the second quarter. Liberty's facing some adversity. They didn't get the call on the offensive interference that they wanted. They've now dropped the ball and they're stuck back, coming out of the soup of their own area here. So how can they handle this adversity and be able to march the ball down the field?
Lucas and Gray, the two backs. Salter looking to throw the ball. He's yet to complete one today. Won't complete it there, but a flag flies. That was intended for Mobley, and Anthony Johnson Jr. going to get flagged for interference.
Yeah, Anthony Johnson Jr. had great coverage. Mobley is trying to run a little corner route, a little shallow corner route. Anthony Johnson didn't take the bite on the inside post.
Defense. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
He didn't take the bite on the post, back to the corner, and but it got just a little too close for contact right there, and was able to pick up the pass interference call.
Now, the penalties have been few and far between for Western Kentucky. They're in the opposite extreme. Liberty, one of the most penalized teams in the country. Western Kentucky rarely beats themselves. That's been key for them throughout the season. Salter looking to throw again. Pump fake, has it, man, a little too tall. Looking for Mobley along the far sideline and just unable to reel it in.
Yeah, you can just tell that Caden throughout the course of this game right now has been a little bit indecisive in his passing game. Originally right there, he wanted to go to the slot, Trayon Sibley, but they buzzed the outside linebacker out there, so he had to come off of that throw to Sibley and try to go to the outside, and just feels a little bit unsettled in some of his throws here today.
Lucas and Blue in the backfield. They'll give it to Billy Lucas. Makes a man miss. And across the 30-yard line, first down yardage for the Flames. Billy Lucas on the carry.
And I think that right there is what the Flames have to do. They have to be able to show that things have gone wrong. They have to be able to show some patience right here. The inside run has been the best thing that they've had going for them. They need to stick to it and have the patience to stick to it.
Reese Smith on the field for Liberty, a receiver who's missed the last couple of ball games. Flames said they hoped to get him back at some point. We've seen him a couple of times taking the field here early on. Von Blue in motion. They fake the handoff. Now Salter standing all day in the pocket, surveying the field, still nowhere to go with it. Finally slings it out wide, caught by Blue. He'll get 4 or 5, but boy, good job in the back end covering that up for Western Kentucky.
Yeah, did a great job right there. Caden wanted to throw, I think it was Elijah Cannon possibly, that was going deep downfield. That was Mobley that was going deep downfield, and he wanted to throw that post route, but the safety came high over the top, and there was nothing there. But a great job by Salter, showing patience, and then hitting it out to his outlet to be able to keep in front of the chains right now. Give to Lucas, picks his way through the defense.
across the 45 and another first down. Billy Lucas had himself a nice game a week ago at UMass. Ended up running for 95 yards in that ball game.
Yeah, you can see once again that inside, they're giving them that option look, but Liberty's line is doing a really good job of moving the line of scrimmage. As a defensive lineman, you're trying to build that flat wall and hold your ground there. Liberty's O-line is really doing a good job of moving bodies, which really helps the inside run.
Go Lucas again up the middle, makes a man miss across midfield. He gets about 7, and that's the difference.
Yes.
Cooley to Lucas. Lucas a little more sudden at the position. Great feet, whereas we see Cooley just likes to lower that shoulder and roll people.
Yeah, great mix-up, and I mean, there really wasn't anything there. And Lucas, just like you said, Matt, he does an excellent jump cut right in the hole. And the one thing is stay on schedule for Liberty. Now you're in a 2nd and short, and you have everything available to you in the playbook.
They go back to the well. Again, Lucas, this time showing you some of that power. Getting a little help from his friends as he crosses the 40-yard line.
Yeah, I really like what Liberty's offensive line is doing right now, is that they are moving the line of scrimmage and getting hat on hat and being able to allow those running backs to get their shoulders downhill and pick up some chunk yardage on the inside runs. So what does that do? That's going to cause Western Kentucky to do what they did earlier, bring the inside blitz, and then that's when you attack the edges in the option game.
Salter's going to keep it up the middle, has some room to run. Inside the 20, down to the 5, and taken down at the 2-yard line. Caden Salter nearly took that one the distance.
And that's a perfect example right there. Salter fakes the ball to the back. If you take a look at it right here, you'll see the backside linebacker crash across, coming down on the running back, which opens up the hole for Salter to take it all the way down to the 2-yard line. That's just an excellent read by Caden Salter.
So the Flames with the football now, 2-yard line going in. The give to Lucas up the middle, reaching towards the end zone, and he's in. Billy Lucas punches it in as the Flames flex their muscle in the ground game, and they respond with a touchdown of their own.
Yeah, there you go. Right what we're talking about. Adversity answered right out of the gate. The first time that the Flames feel that adversity of the touchdown scored on them, which should have been a penalty, and then obviously the ball out of bounds, a long drive, and then to be able to go all the way down the field and have the guts to be able to punch it in right there to tie up this ball game potentially.
Extra point coming from Colin Carhew. A 92-yard drive. Remember, they start back on their own 8-yard line after the kickoff was mishandled. So Carhew, the hero from a week ago, Liberty's 35-34 overtime win over UMass. Tries to knock this one up at 7 apiece. And it's right down the middle. So a big answer from the Flames, and we are all tied. 9:30 to go in the 2nd quarter. Liberty, Western Kentucky in the good one. 7-7 ball game, 9:30 to go here in the 2nd quarter between Western Kentucky and Liberty. Meanwhile, the other game we're keeping an eye on, Jacksonville State, Sam Houston. Sam Houston scored, apparently went for 2 to cut the lead to just 3 now for the Gamecocks. 3rd quarter of that one. Now, for Western Kentucky, a win here today, Jacksonville State win, and your Hilltoppers are in the championship game. But first things first, they got to slow down this Liberty rushing attack. You see what they've been doing against the run here lately. So far today, Liberty 175 rush yards already in this ballgame.
Yeah, and where they're getting beat is on the inside run, but in many ways in their defense is like that's what they're giving up. They're choosing to give up that inside run. The thing that they can't do is you can't give up the inside run and chunk yardage the way that Liberty's getting it.
The kickoff, fair catch called for and taken by Western Kentucky. So their offense will come back out onto the field.
You know, it's funny how this game is playing out right now. You've got a Liberty passing offense with Caden Salter, who was so efficient last year to throw for over 3,000 yards. And I believe he only has 7 yards passing right now. And then you look at Caden Veltkamp, who's done a really good job of throwing the ball downfield, but has had a couple interceptions. And Liberty working the inside run. The inside run for Western Kentucky not working at all, but they've had some success to the outside.
Handoff up the middle, and there you go. It's going nowhere as Chris Bodie met George Hart right there at the line of scrimmage. And the run game continues to struggle a little bit for Western Kentucky here in the early going.
Yeah, you really think if you're Western Kentucky right now, where's your success been? Your success has been in the vertical passing game and in the outside run. They really should stick to it until Liberty can prove that they can stop it.
Belkamp 7 of 9 for 100 yards. Has a couple of picks, but also has a touchdown toss. He's going to look to throw here on second down. Loads up, fires downfield, has a man, and he couldn't connect. Eason Messer got behind the defense, and it was just a little overthrown.
Yeah, Eason Messer ran a fantastic corner route right here. You'll take a look at him. Belkamp sticks in, he runs in hard to the post, breaks out the corner, turns the DB around. All Belkamp had to do was put it on him, and he just overthrows it a little bit.
So now it brings up 3rd and long. Western Kentucky has converted its only 3rd down opportunity today.
Checking out of the play. You know he's getting zone coverage right here.
Pressure comes. Belkamp flush from the pocket, looking downfield, fires a man wide open at midfield and into Flames territory on the 1st down reception.
And that's the exact reason why, if you're a Flames defender, you have to make sure that you contain, attack that upfield shoulder on his shoulder pad. But what an athletic move by Belkamp to get out of the pocket and be able to keep his eyes downfield and complete the pass for a critical 3rd down conversion.
That was Katie Hutchinson. This WKU staff telling us, you know, when it's crunch time, Messer and Hutchinson, those are the 2 guys that Belkamp usually looks for to make a play. And they do here. Taking another shot downfield. Has a man open. And again, just a little bit overshot as he was trying to connect with Bryce Childress.
Yeah, that's another corner route right there. Liberty's in a cover 2. When I say in a cover 2, that means the corner's playing high to the flat, and then the safety's coming off the hash. That soft spot right there is in that portion of the field, and he just overthrows him once again.
Liberty without safety Quentin Reese today, by the way. He started the last 23 ball games, but was injured in that UMass contest. 2nd down, the give. Young running the football, has some room, and he gets it back to 3rd and manageable now as he gets 5 or 6.
Yeah, I like that more of a slow. They're starting to mix up their run game a little bit, so they give you an inside look of more of a slow developing inside look. Allow those bodies to crash down and then be able to bounce it to the outside and pick up 7 yards, 6 or 7 yards.
Belkamp checks with the sidelines. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top of the field.
You got straight man coverage up top, and we surprised play one-on-one up there.
They're going to hand it off. Young up the middle, 1st down yardage taken down by a Corey Jones, but on 3rd down they stick with the run and it pays off.
Wow, that surprises me. I mean, as much as they've been stuffed on the inside run, you got to give them credit for their commitment right there. That's a big 3rd down that they need to convert, and to choose to go to the inside run is a big call by coach.
Western Kentucky quick back to the line of scrimmage, now checking with the sideline.
Setting the protection off. They feel as if they're going to potentially get an extra man to the outside. Here he comes. Here comes the blitz.
Handoff, Hart running up the middle, nowhere to go. TJ Bush, Jay Hardy, both there on the play, and maybe gets half a yard on the carry.
Yeah, that's one of those in Belkamp. I'm a little surprised he didn't pull it out as they adjusted the protection back to the side, knowing that they were going to run the ball, but they get that outside blitz, a nickel blitz from the outside. If you take a look at it right here, you'll see pressure coming from the outside. If Belkamp's able to pull that ball out, he might get the edge right there and still be running.
So the Flames D-line does a good job on 1st down, 2nd and long. 2 receivers to either side. Pass caught against Chopin. Did that ball come free? That ball came out, and no. Yes, no, the Flames have it. The official comes in from the far side and signals Liberty football.
Yeah, great job. I think this is going to be a catch and a fumble. He took a couple steps with it. Don't think he was a bomb. I'm not sure it was who came down and knocked it out. but I believe this will be a completion with a fumble.
That was Keyshawn Johnson, I believe, on the reception.
Ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Liberty.
And it's Liberty football.
Take a look at it.
Yeah, he definitely had that football, getting in there to knock it out. Looks like that was Bryce Dixon that ended up recovering it. And that may have been a Corey Jones that came in there to knock it out.
I think it was, yeah.
So a third turnover on this ball game for Western Kentucky. They are giving Liberty every opportunity to stay in this game.
Yeah, and it's pretty amazing. The score is 7-7. You have 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
You have 175 yards rushing against you.
Flames go back to the ground. Cooley this time up the middle. Strong run keeps those legs churning, and he's up near midfield. Pickup of about 15.
And that's what you like, the difference between a Billy Lucas and a Quentin Cooley.
Let's check in with Emily.
Yeah, guys, after that last Liberty touchdown, it was so funny. Aaron Fenimore came off the field and told his O-line, I love the physicality, guys. Don't do anything stupid. But throughout that entire time on the sidelines, you heard players from all position groups come over and say, good job, O. Keep pushing, O-line. So the support is there. We'll be right back with more Liberty and Western Kentucky.
Well, in that tent right now, Xavier Gray, Liberty's right tackle. So that is cause for concern for Liberty. Is keep an eye on his status moving forward. He's one of the better offensive linemen for this Liberty squad. Had to be helped off the field after that last play.
Yeah, that's a big loss if Gray is not able to come back. Instead of potentially Liberty's best offensive lineman.
Handoff up the middle. Cooley again, taking some contact, falling forward for about 5 yards.
That's the difference right there. You can see the difference from the run before. Is like Cooley's going to give you that hard yards. He's going to break through tackles. He's going to fall forward for an extra couple yards. Billy Lucas is going to be a little bit more shifty. So it's a good mix-up between those two guys, and obviously it's shown nearing the 200-yard rushing mark so far here in the first half.
Flames the two-back set. Juju Gray along with Quentin Cooley. They're going to pull it, flip it out to Gray, catching it on the edge. Lowers the shoulder and looks like he's right at the sticks. Should have enough for the first down. With more on Gray, let's check in with Emily.
Yeah, Liberty's athletic trainer Elijah Levenway just told me it's ankle. He is questionable to return.
That is a hit to that offensive line for the Flames.
Liberty's showing a lot of two-back set. The two-back set obviously there to be able to work the option game.
Give Cooley again. And gets about 3 on first down and driven back all the way to midfield, finishing that tackle. A little something extra on the end of that for Kylan Guidry.
Guidry said, here's a little, as he's going down, he said, hey, Cooley, here's a little something for you.
He was blown dead right about there, and then it just kept on going.
Yeah, surprise arrest. Maybe he didn't flag that. You got to be careful. Don't give those referees a chance to put their hand in their pocket and pull up that old handkerchief.
So 2nd and 7 now for the Flames. Trying to take advantage of that turnover a moment ago. Back to Cooley, hard running and close to another first down. Looks like they'll mark him just shy.
Yeah, it's such a good job by Cooley with his vision right there. Not only does he have the power, does he have the pop, does he have the punch, he's also got the vision to be able to be patient, see that little crease, and then work to the inside and leave him in a 3rd and short.
Cooley already in this first half has done a whole lot of work.
Now you start seeing those backers creep. They go to a 4-man front, so this is to stop that inside run.
And give it to him again, just puts his head down, keeps driving, and another Liberty first down.
That's just too much Cooley. All that is. I mean, you just either go to a heavier front, and Cooley's able always to fall forward and pick up those extra yards. They're a tough. If Liberty can stay on schedule, stay ahead of the chains, they are going to be. They're going to bleed a lot of clock, and they're going to be tough to keep out of the end zone.
Already 15 carries for Cooley. He's up at 80 yards on the ball game. Kind of what we expected, a heavy dose of number 20, and so far Western Kentucky hasn't had an answer for him. They're going to go back to him again, cuts it upfield, another good first down run, as he'll get about 6 or 7. And you said it, and the same thing Tyson Summers, the defensive coordinator for Western Kentucky, said. He said, listen, I know we've been a bend, don't break kind of defense. He goes, I don't know if we can do that against this team. We may need to try to do a little bit more to get them off schedule, take a few more chances on first down to get them, stopped for a loss if we can, and force them to put the ball in the air. Haven't been able to do it today. Cooley, another time, room to run, inside the 10, diving for the pylon, and he is in. Quentin Cooley rumbles 22 yards to put the Flames in front.
Offensive line is just having their way with that Western Kentucky front seven.
And Quentin Cooley is having himself a day, over 100 yards now.
Yeah, good seal block to the outside, another seal block to the inside. Receivers downfield making block. Cooley putting in the hustle, reading where the block's, bouncing to the outside, diving for the end zone. Pylons flying all over the place. This is exactly what Liberty wanted to do in running the football. When you can turn it over and you can rush the football, you are going to win a lot of football games.
They're holding up play here as they just confirm that he got in.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown. Play is under further review.
And now they will review it. So they'll take a look. Listen, Quentin Cooley, senior for Liberty, this being senior day for the Flames. He said this week, I didn't get to play in my senior day in high school. He goes, this means a lot to me. I said, well, what, were you hurt? He said, no. My coach was just worried about keeping me healthy for the playoffs, so he sent me for my senior day. He goes, I really want to play on senior day. I want to take advantage of this opportunity. And boy, has he done that here so far this afternoon. Another look, the dive for the pylon. Hard to tell from that angle if anything drug out of bounds there as he was.
It's that extension rule, isn't it, man? And then how they do it in college, even if the ball doesn't cross, he's still alive and the ball extends on. He goes to the outside of the pylon. You'll see him land. He gets hit. He's not in. He's at the outside of the pylon when they got called touchdown.
Boy, yeah, I think that's going to be a tough one to overturn.
That's a tough one.
He also kind of rolled back with the football as well, and did not appear that a foot touched down before he crossed the goal line.
So you can see right here when he gets knocked, the ball is on the outside of the pylon, but it's so close. Like you said, I just don't see how they could overturn that one.
Well, they're going to take their time and think about it either way.
I mean, here's something to look at too. 2:05 left. That potentially, well, either way, Western Kentucky has the opportunity to use the 2-minute timeout as an extra timeout and drive the ball down the field to answer the score.
And it'll be Western Kentucky getting the ball first in the second half, as it appears as they've settled on the call.
After review, the ruling on the field of a touchdown stands.
There we go.
So Quentin Cooley punches it in, his 12th touchdown of the season, and also on that run, his 8th 100-yard game of the season. That man has logged some miles this year for the Flames.
I think Cooley came in, 998 to start the game, and now he's near 1,100 yards already here in the first half.
Extra point from Cardew, up and through, and Liberty taking advantage of that WKU fumble. They punch it in and push themselves out in front, 14-7. Told you, Liberty has to win out to get to the conference title game. A lot on the line for them, and Quentin Cooley has been the guy they have really leaned on here down the stretch of the season. Take a look at what he's done here the last 3 ball games.
Yeah, he is clearly the leader of this football team in the locker room, and when the guys are listening to him, and not only from a vocal standpoint, but also it shows it right there in the way that he plays the game, not just the stats and what he accumulates throughout the game. It's he gets the respect of the locker room by the way that he plays the game.
So now 2:05 to go before the half, and you said it's still plenty of time for Western Kentucky.
You know, and here's the thing, Matt. Western Kentucky has to come up with an answer. I know they don't want to give up explosive plays, but they've given up over 200 yards rushing in the first half. So what does Western Kentucky need to do? They need to figure out a way to stop the inside run. And you know, honestly, the Caden really just hasn't looked, Caden Salter hasn't looked great in throwing the football. So, hey, let's maybe turn this game, if you're Western Kentucky defensively, into, hey, we are going to bring more people inside the box to stop the inside run and have Salter the opportunity to try to beat him through the air, which he just seems a little bit off rhythm today.
Yeah, he's 1 for 5 for only 7 yards.
But this game's going nowhere for Western Kentucky defensively until they can commit to stopping that inside run.
Belkamp looking to pass on first down. Going to swing it out to his running back. Made a man miss, turning it upfield across the 30. Looked like he might be stopped for no gain. Instead picks up 7 or 8. Elijah Young with a nice reception.
Now, Elijah Young is he's just a good football player. He runs the ball, able to get on the outside in the passing game. I think it's probably his 32nd, 33rd catch of the season. So he's just a good all-around football player.
Takes us to the 2-minute timeout. We'll step aside as well. 14-7. Liberty leading Western Kentucky.
Hey, welcome back to Lynchburg, 14-7 in favor of the Flames. DJ, how can they stop Quentin Cooley in this Liberty O-line?
I don't know if they can. He's celebrating senior day and running very hard. The O-line, you got to give him props. They're making holes.
It's not Quentin Cooley they needed to stop. It's the offensive line. They are getting a ton of push. He's not getting contacted until 2, 3, 4 yards downfield.
Yeah, Flames doing it on the ground so far in this game and continuing to do it well, Matt and Joe.
Appreciate it, Rhett. Look forward to hearing from you guys at the half. First things first, Western Kentucky trying to make something happen here before the break. Elijah Young, he's got some room to run. Across midfield, hurling a flame and taking a shot down inside the 40. Oh, goodness, Elijah Young showing you some explosiveness.
You had to go back to the 80s when in the old Edwin Moses hurdle right here. This was like not the high hurdle. This is just coming right, bam, old school hurdle right there. Great job, great run by Elijah. And once again, that's where it is. That's where Liberty's susceptible. If you just get onto the outside edges, throw the ball in the seams down the field. That's where they've had the most of their success.
They nearly doubled their rushing yards on the ball game. A 30-yard run for Young. And now Western Kentucky in business. They drop the snap, trying a little misdirection, and the timing was completely thrown off of that play. They end up getting it to Katie Hutchinson, who's cut down, but Veldkamp unable to handle the snap initially.
Yeah, if they would have, they potentially had a play right there. If he's able to handle, take a look, if he was able to handle that snap clearly, he might have been able to get more bend to the back, and they had it blocked on the front side where he could have had a good gainer.
So that backs him up. 2nd 16 now. Clock continues to move. Okay, looking for a sideline, batted down. That's TJ Bush, got his hands on that one. He has been known to do just that.
And that's the key right there for the Liberty defense. You get that 2nd and 16, incomplete pass, 3rd down. Keep Western Kentucky off schedule. If I'm Western Kentucky right now, let's take a look at what kind of look that Liberty's going to give them defensively. But I'm thinking about attacking the middle of the field in order to pick up maybe 10, 15 yards and then have an opportunity to go for it on 4th down.
2 receivers to either side. Hart is the running back standing to the left of Veldkamp, and they're going to take a timeout. You've got them. You might as well take them and make sure you're on the same page for a big 3rd down opportunity.
30-second timeout.
3rd and 16. Take a look at Tyson Helton. He said he's so proud of how his team has responded from that disappointing loss a week ago. He said this group is businesslike. They have a pro mentality. They're not worried about that. They know what's in front of them still. And for Western Kentucky, by the way, even today, they still have a chance to play their way into that championship game no matter what happens today. They can clinch a spot into it with a win and a Jacksonville State win, but no matter what happens here today, they'll still have an opportunity to get to that CUSA title game here in a couple of weeks.
And when you look at the stats from today, like Liberty rushing the ball for over 200 yards, the turnovers that have happened, they have the football on Liberty's side of the field down 14-7. Through all the adversity they face, they still have a great opportunity to get themselves tied in this football game or get a little bit closer.
Empty backfield, they go 5 wide. Veldkamp stands in the pocket, fires. He had Messer, ended up throwing kind of a wobbly pass behind him. Not sure if somebody got a piece of that.
Must have. He had Messer open right down the seam. They went back to that vertical passing game they were talking about. But if you take a look right here, I think this ball had to have gotten tipped. Yep,
you
right
could see
there.
it. You could see that ball kind of change direction a little bit.
I mean, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you just saw one of those white glove polar bear paws come up from the Antarctica and just knock that ball down.
So now Western Kentucky to punt it away. Cole Maynard puts a right foot into it, trying to pin Liberty back deep, and he will just kick it out of bounds. We'll see where they spot it. Looked to be inside the 10-yard line, and it will be Liberty taking over right at the 10. So it's been the Quentin Cooley show here today for Liberty. 17 carries, 112 yards, and a touchdown. He did have the one fumble, but he has been rumbling, as has this whole rushing offense for Liberty.
Yeah, you just see what the offensive line is doing. The seal blocks again. Like, look at that. Look at those holes. I mean, all the way down the field, the offensive line, the combination of offensive line creating those holes, and the outstanding running of Quentin Cooley and Billy Lucas is subbed in for him on a drive where he's had a lot of success also.
So we'll see 55 seconds left. You would think Liberty would just try to take this one to the locker room based on where they are on the field. That play goes nowhere. Tied up for a loss was Lucas on the run.
And that's what you have to do. They're knifing the inside linebacker
Western Kentucky,
to stop that inside run.
A timeout on the field. And Western Kentucky's going to use their second.
Yeah, because you can get it. They got one more timeout left. They can get a stop right here, get another timeout, keep them pinned back. They may have the opportunity. Liberty punts, have one play and a chance to kick a field goal. And there's a heavy wind out there right now, and I can't really tell what direction the wind is going. Liberty's punting. If they're punting into the wind, you know, West Kentucky could have the opportunity to get this ball back with a few seconds left before they have an opportunity, like I said, to kick the field goal.
Yeah, with Lucas Carnero, the kicker for Western Kentucky, that certainly helps. Guy that's made 11 of 12 this year and can boot it from over 50 yards. So 2nd and 12, Liberty now with the ball in their own 7. Another give. Lucas able to get up to the 10, fall across towards the 11-yard line before he's taken down, and there's another timeout called.
So Liberty should be able to run the clock out here at halftime because they don't have any more timeouts. So yeah, I definitely think one more play and then that 40-second clock starts. They should be able to run it out.
We shall see, but a lot to think about in that Western Kentucky locker room at the half. I mean, really, when it gets down to it, in the past game, Veldkamp has been off on a couple, but you have to love what you're getting.
Yes.
They're freeing guys up. He's missed on a couple of deep shots that could have gone the distance. That last one just got deflected. I don't know that you feel like you have to change a lot offensively. More so it's the defensive side of things that you talked about, stopping the run.
Yeah, you got to stop the inside run. And Veldkamp has, like, he shows these flashes of just like fantastic quarterback play. And then the couple interceptions. One of those interceptions wasn't his fault. He got hit in the arm. The other one was just a bad decision on his part. But yeah, the vertical passing game could be something that would be very good for them. Explosive plays downfield here in the second half.
Lucas carry, a lot of room right up the middle. He breaks free across the 40, across the 45 before he's taken down. The middle of that defense just parted. And now Liberty's thinking, man, well, okay, we've got some timeouts here. Let's see if we can make something happen.
Liberty.
Yeah, you just can't have those massive hole right there. Then they got no help on the backside. Safeties are split wide, and then Lucas is there to carry the ball all the way up to the 47-yard line. Like you said, Liberty now is taking a look. Hey, we got all 3 of our timeouts. Why don't we get a couple more first downs here and have the opportunity to kick field goal?
Well, this thing flipped in a hurry. The Flames just trying to escape and get to the locker room. Now they can be on the attack. Liberty now 279 rush yards after that 36-yard pickup for Lucas. But Liberty's gone over 300 rushing yards in back-to-back games. They're trying to do it here in a half.
First half, right. And the most incredible part of this thing is if you did not know what the score was,
right,
and you're saying, hey, Western Kentucky has 3 turnovers, they've been rushed on for 279 yards, what's the score? I'd say, well, that's probably 28-0. It's a 14-7 ball game.
We'll see now. Salter going to finally put it in the air. They haven't looked to throw it much, hasn't been real effective when he has done it. Drops back, fires, has a man wide open. That's Reese Smith, who steps out of bounds at around the, let's call it the 37. So a first down, nice pickup, and you're able to stop the clock.
Yeah, no, I think right here you got a little bit, you got the Hilltoppers on their heels right now, so go with a little bit of pace. Try to move, even though they went out of bounds and the clock stopped, I'd still try to get with a little pace and try to make another shot downfield.
You mentioned Smith back for the first time since being injured in that FIU game. Able to make a big reception there.
There's a blitz from the outside.
Salter flush from the pocket, rolling out, directing traffic. Now he's going to try to take off and drug down.
Timeout.
And a flag flies in at the end of it from the far official. Now here comes another flag where Salter was tackled. So we'll see what this is all about.
Probably I know horse collar on the sidelines against Salter is what they're going to call there. My guess is a hold downfield. Oh, might be offsetting the Western Kentucky guys saying the holding calls against Liberty.
You wondered right on the end. That looked like it was on the sleeve more or less where he pulled him down there based on that replay. I'm with you at live. I thought maybe it was close to a horse collar, but
yeah.
There are multiple fouls, both on the defense. Holding. Number 3, defense. Penalties decline. Personal foul. Horse collar tackle.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Joe.
Number 92.
I don't know either.
Like normally with horse collar, you always talk about the nameplate, right? Like being that's kind of that point where if you get them around there, that's where you call it. And you could see Tyson Helton's thought on it. You saw him say bad call. I thought he got it more around the sleeve or shoulder area.
I mean, you're trying to protect from that straight backwards knee bend. And take a look right here. As I said, that's.
Yeah,
I mean, he's on the side of the arm.
Yeah, that's
just a bad call. He's on the side of the arm, trying to get him down. Yeah, I just don't like that.
Huge break for the Flames now. Ball inside the 20, handoff. They run it down to the 10-yard line, and you'll see them use one of their timeouts here. Billy Lucas on the carry, so still 16 seconds left.
They're second.
So 16 seconds left. It's showing 3 timeouts on the board. That they only have 1 left, right? Is that correct? They have 1 or 2 timeouts left.
I believe that official here on the scoreboard in the stadium, it says 1 left for Liberty. Okay. I believe the official, though, just said that was their first. So we'll get that sorted out.
Yeah, that makes a difference because if you have, second down, you definitely got an opportunity to take 2 shots at the end zone in the passing game. If you've got both those, or if you only have 1 timeout left. If you have 2 timeouts left, you still have the opportunity, as well as they've run the football, to run it.
Big moment in this ball game. Boy, I tell you, 21-7 feels a whole lot different than 17-7 if you're these Liberty Flames.
You have 1 timeout left, so you can still run for 1 play right here and use your timeout and then take your shots. But I got a feeling that Liberty's going to take their shots in the end zone in the passing game 2 times right here if they don't get it on this first one.
Yeah, Juju Gray, the running back in the backfield right now, a weapon to catch the football. Salter, pressure coming from the backside, feels it, fires towards the end zone, it's caught! He found Gray in the back corner for the touchdown!
Great job by Salter staying alive right there. He thought for a second, like, hey, just throw it away and live to play the next play. But he's able to have the patience to find Juju Gray in the back of the end zone. Could really feel great presence, feeling the pressure come from the backside.
Boy, it looked like Salter was about to get chased down from behind. Just did get it off, and a strike. Gray settled down in that back corner. And the Flames with a touchdown here with just 10 seconds to go before halftime. Now, there was a flag on the end of that. I think a little late hit right there, perhaps, as they're in conversation still about that.
I mean, what a turn of events with West Kentucky supposed to get the ball back.
Touchdown. There is no foul on the defense during the play. We will do the try.
All right, say no foul, so they said it was not a late hit.
Hey, but Western Kentucky's supposed to get the ball back. Had them in a third down, thinking, hey, we're going to get the ball with either opportunity potentially to kick a field goal or just get to start the second half. And the Flames go, what was it, 96 yards for a touchdown right before half with 10 seconds left?
That, Liberty did what everyone in the building expected them to do. They handed it off.
Inside
run. They were just trying to run out the clock. But instead, they bust off a big 30-plus yard run from Lucas. That got the Flames rolling, and it turns into a 90-yard drive. 7 plays in only 45 seconds.
I mean, the adjustments that WKU is going to have to make in their run defense at halftime are significant. When Liberty comes in at halftime with their run adjustments, they're going to say the only thing we need to adjust is our chin straps.
There's an update from Jacksonville, Alabama. 21-11. Gamecocks closing in on securing a spot in the Conference USA Championship and maintaining a perfect 7-0 record in conference play.
Jack State is tough.
They are.
They are tough.
You want to talk about a team that runs the football?
They'll do it.
They do it as well, and that's who Western Kentucky's going to see next week. Ball blows off the tee. You know, we had a scoreless first quarter.
Yeah.
A lot of action, but scoreless. We had 28 points here in the second quarter. We have packed in a whole lot of action here in the first half of this ball game. So booted away. Catch called for and taken.
Yeah, take a knee if you're Western Kentucky and get to the locker room, make your adjustments, and get the ball to start the second half and try to get down score.
How big does that drive feel now to open the second half, given the fact that you thought you were going to be down 1 score?
Right.
All of a sudden you look up, you're down 21-7.
Yeah, the run that Billy Lucas had on third down really set up, obviously set up that touchdown for Liberty.
So it does appear that WKU just going to take a knee here. And they will take it to the half, trailing 21-7. Liberty is back against the wall, needing to win out to reach the conference championship game. 1 half of play in the books. So far, so good for the Flames. They lead it 21-7. Emily Austin standing by with Jamie Chadwell.
Coach Chadwell, going into the game, you said one thing you're most confident about is running the ball consistently. Almost had 300 yards on the ground. How satisfied are you with this O-line?
I would say satisfied. We got a lot of work to do. I'm a little ticked off. You know, our defense is playing lights out. They gave us 2-3 turnovers in the first half, and we had nothing to show for it in the first quarter. So I'm thankful we got the lead. We're going to have to continue. They're inviting us to run it. They don't want to let us give up any deep plays. And so the O-line's really going to have to show up in the second half. We're going to have a chance to finish this out. How different does 21-7 feel than 17-7? Big difference. I mean, a huge difference. You're up 2 touchdowns. They get the ball too. So I'd love to be up about 35-7. But we'll take this right now. Thanks for your time, Coach. Best of luck in the second half, guys.
Isn't that classic, Coach? You're up 21-7 and you're thinking about, she could have been 35. But the Flames will take it, leading by a couple of scores as we head to halftime here in Lynchburg. 21-7 Liberty on top of Western Kentucky as we're getting set to start the second half of play here. Again, both these teams in the mix to reach the Conference USA Championship game. The Flames have to win out, so they have to win today to keep their hopes alive. Western Kentucky could clinch today with a win and a Jacksonville State win, or they could still get in next week with a victory as well. So something still out there for them here over these final couple of weeks.
A lot of football left, Matt Warner.
A lot of football left to play. As you take a look at Tyson Helton trying to sort things out on the sidelines, trying to sort out how he can slow down this Liberty rush attack that went for 290 yards in the first half. Our Emily Austin caught up with him just a moment ago, Em.
Yeah, Matt Warner is pretty brief, though. He said the focus is on stopping the Flames' run game. They've just been running up the middle on us. It's open. It's obvious. I will also add that the mood is very different on this Western Kentucky sideline. They seem like they're just heads down to business for this second half, very quiet. On the other side, OU came out of its locker room singing and jumping around, so we'll see how it all plays out here in the second half.
We will find out. Western Kentucky to get the ball first and see if they can get something going offensively. Just the 7 points in the first half. Told you they struggled last week just 7 points against Louisiana Tech. It's been the turnovers that have been the issue today.
Yeah, and the dilemma that they're running into from Western Kentucky side is, unless you can really hold up on the inside run in your front four, once you start committing those backers, then what's Liberty going to do? They're just going to attack you to the outside in the option game with Salter and Billy Lucas or Juju Gray. So you're sort of put in a tough spot right there on what to do defensively. You just got to play better up front.
Well, the other thing as we begin this second half is Liberty with a 2-score lead with the way they like to play. You don't know how many possessions you could get in the second half.
Yeah, great point.
So Western Kentucky needs to take advantage of this one really to start the half and see if they can find some big plays to those talented receivers.
Yeah, and then where they've done a great job or a good job so far is in that vertical passing game. That's where Belcampi really feels if he can push the ball down the field. He did miss a couple of those corner runs, but if he could find a rhythm, they have all the capability of putting points on the board in bunches.
Hand off to begin things here in the second half. Brylan Green comes down and makes the tackle, but it'll be about a 5-yard gain for Elijah Young.
And that's a good start. One of the things that WKU needs to do is you've got to stay on schedule. You've got to stay ahead of the chains where you're able to still commit your run game and then have the opportunity to throw the ball down the field where you're not just stuck in these long pass situations.
Belcamp 135 yards passing in the first half, 10 of 16. Changing the play at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Liberty's showing blitz, but I think they're going to back out.
They do. Just 3 rushers. Belcamp fires, complete. First down yardage across near the far sideline. That was Dalvin Smith on the reception.
Yeah, good chain move. Just move the chains. Keep working your run game where they had some of that success in the first half. And I'm a little bit surprised. Belcamp needs to, they used him in the run game. The power sweep was a successful play for them. Maybe use him a little bit more in that outside run game.
Give again to Young, trying to turn the corner, slowed up a bit, and fortunate to get back near the line of scrimmage. So Liberty doing a good job shutting that down quickly, and it'll bring up second long.
Yeah, that's exactly what Liberty needs to do. Once again, get them off schedule. And then the thing that you do at Belcamp is as he drops back in the passing game, you'll be able to tell that they get pressure up the middle. If they get pressure up the middle and make some bad decisions, they've already created a couple turnovers.
Looking to throw here, fires, connects. That'll be about a yard shy of the first down. Dalvin Smith again on the reception, his second already on this possession.
Yeah, I like what they're doing. That's 2 times in a row. They just keep it simple. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. And that's just able to throw the ball on a hitch route to the outside, pick up the yards, and put yourself in a 3rd and short. This is a big drive for Western Kentucky. If they can go down and get a touchdown right here with the yards they get on rushing, play good defense, they're right back in this football game.
Belcamp fakes it. He's going to roll out. Being chased, trying to get to the sideline. Dives for the first down marker, and it looks like he will have enough.
Oh, this is close.
Well, it is close. The officials still kind of sorting it out over there.
I was with you, Matt. I thought he had it, but I think they may have marked him a little short.
It looks like they did mark him short. I thought on that dive he may have got there. Now you're talking 4th and short here.
I wouldn't be surprised if you get a review here, if they review a spot here, because like you said, I think he dived and clearly had it, but they did mark him short. Yeah.
All right, so they're going to take another look. Old Eagle-Eye Joe has told you what he thinks.
I mean, I'm like 8 for 8 on the season so far. Not that I'm bragging or anything.
Well, a big call, obviously, because, it's half a yard, but we see all the time teams come up short on a 4th down situation like that. This is a huge call in this game here early in the second half.
And especially with the way Liberty's front four has really controlled the line of scrimmage. If you're WKU, let's take a look here. No, I think they got it right.
Yeah.
I think they got it right. He's just short of that yard marker there.
From our vantage point, we're kind of looking through a lot of those people standing on the sidelines. It looked like he had, well.
No, that's the next one.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, it's the next one.
The guy with the sticks had backed out of there. So, we were looking at the sticks on that last replay. He got the heck out of there when he saw Belcamp coming. So, You take a look at that previous angle, and it did, in fact, look like he got the first down.
Yeah, they should probably move this thing up at 1 yard, almost on the dot.
Continue to say maybe have some issues there with the.
They always have issues. You know what a fan I am.
Yeah, I know.
But you know, there's just a chance that it might be 9 for 9 on the year now.
They're getting out the old metal clothes hanger and putting it on the top of it. They're trying to get. They're struggling with the signal, I think.
Yeah,
they say if you could just hold that, you stand on one foot and kind of hold it down.
There it is.
They're trying to get the connection to work down there.
Zoom in, eh?
So we continue to wait on that review, but we believe it will be a first down for Western Kentucky on a drive where it feels like you simply have to put points on the board.
Yeah, I think, and the other thing too is possessing the football. Is with the way that Liberty's running it, you can't have 3 and outs. You got to grind out first downs. You need to take some shots, and their offense is built on a lot of explosive plays. And you got to hold on to the football. And the other flip side of it is to limit Liberty's possessions, because as well as they're running the ball, like you said earlier, there's only going to be but so many possessions in the second half.
A really long time taking a look at this.
I just can't wrap my head around it, Matthew. I have a hard time with this. Look at the guy. Now we got a second guy.
Oh, boy.
The screw came out.
We've got mechanical malfunctions.
Oh, it is. It is. Yeah, a wiring issue. There we go.
The ruling on the field stands. 4th down.
Wow. Does that make you wonder if he ever actually got to see it?
I don't think he saw it. I mean, that. Wow.
All right, here we go. 4th and 1 now. Now, this is a team that has gone for it more than almost anybody in the country. Only 5 teams have attempted on 4th down more often. And Western Kentucky's converted on most of them, 64%. Here we go. Let's see if they just run it with their quarterback here. Johnson in motion. They do. Veltkamp lunges forward.
Yeah, Liberty sort of gave that out. They didn't really crowd the line of scrimmage knowing the quarterback sneak was coming.
So a big 4th down conversion is Veltkamp able to just use that big 6'6", 240-pound frame and move the pile a little bit. Veltkamp, the son of the strength coach for Western Kentucky.
Got a one-on-one matchup down to the outside. Actually, no, Liberty just checked out. They're going to zone coverage. Playing zone up top, man at the bottom here.
Veltkamp looks to throw, climbs in the pocket, takes a shot downfield. Connection made at the 20-yard line. Trying to escape, but taken down just inside the 20 is their leading receiver, Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah, and that's a good job between Veltkamp and Keyshawn Johnson. They realized that they're going zone up top, man-to-man, singled up down here at the bottom, and he just did a little throw behind, able to throw the ball back behind to his back shoulder, come back, pick it out of the air, have an explosive play down the field, start to enter into the red zone.
Jaden Sweeney in coverage. Now Veltkamp looking to throw again, avoids the rusher, now swings it out to the flat. Messer makes a man miss, cuts it inside the 10, lowers the shoulder, driving his way down to the 2-yard line, and a flag flies in. Flag comes in at the end as Messer gets it down to about the 2-yard line.
Messer's a shifty little guy.
He is. Let's see. It was right when the tackle occurred. Almost makes you wonder if targeting could be a face mask or a targeting there at the end of that. Comes the call.
Yeah.
Personal foul. Targeting. Number 22. Defense. Penalty is enforced half the distance from the end of the run. Automatic first down. The play is under further review.
So that's Jaden Sweeney, who just got beaten coverage a moment ago. And now they'll go back to the replay monitor. And we'll see. Maybe somebody made a run to Best Buy and got new connector cable there to see if he can sort that out. But right there, lowered the
I don't
top
think
of the
that's
helmet,
targeting.
kind of a glancing shot.
Glancing shot. I don't think, like, I can't remember which game I was watching Thursday night, but it was, I thought was clear targeting, and they said no targeting, and it wasn't even close to something like that. That's, like you said, that seems like more of a glance. And not leading with the, let's take a look one more time. Yeah, I just don't see how they could call that targeting.
We've been surprised
yeah, I know.
today.
We also thought they had the first down.
So we'll see. Jaden Sweeney, the sophomore corner
Quick decision.
out of Birmingham.
You got a quick decision.
After review, number 22 did not use the crown of his helmet. There is no targeting. He is allowed to stay in the game. Result of the play is a first down.
There you go. As it stands, Western Kentucky knocking on the door now.
Oh, what a drive. They have put together a good drive. Liberty did a great job on that last play, covering downfield. They were trying to take a shot on a wheel route with Elijah, and they tried to get a run on the wheel route. Nothing was there. It was covered well. They were able to dump it off to Messer and get down to the 2-yard line here.
Camp over 200 yards passing now on the game. Goes under center. Handoff up the middle. Hart runs into Joe Carter, continues to fight and gets into the end zone. George Hart with that second effort, able to cross the goal line, and that is exactly what Western Kentucky needed on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, what a great job. That drive all the way down the field, using the run game, using the pass game, able to punch it in from the 2-yard line. Take a look right there. Look at all that whole old line. Another old lineman in there. It's just loaded up with beef. And Hart's able to fight, scrap, claw into the end zone to cut this game, soon to be 21-14.
He said they had to find the end zone on this drive. He felt like even if it came down to a 4th down conversion on that possession, they were able to get it done and find the end zone. And that extra point for Lucas Carnero makes it a 21-14 ball game. Western Kentucky not going away. A 1-score game, 10:33 to go here in the third. (21-14) here in Lynchburg. Liberty leading Western Kentucky. By the way, the other game we've been keeping an eye on today, just gone final. Jacksonville State beat Sam Houston, so Jacksonville State clinches their spot in the Conference USA Championship. They're still a perfect 7-0 in CUSA play. And now we get to start sorting everything else out. We told you Liberty's path is simple. They just have to win out. Yep. Win today, win next week at Sam Houston. Flames trying to see if they can get a big win here to keep their championship dreams alive. But Jacksonville State gets the job done. What a job by Rich Rod and company and the season they've had. All roads lead through where in Jacksonville, Alabama. Is it Jacksonville, Alabama? Yeah, I don't know if they. I don't know how many roads go. But however many they are, they all lead. They all lead. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so they're all on the same spot.
Yep.
Right.
Once again, that ball blowing off the tee. It has been a windy day here at Williams Stadium. Kickoff going to be a short one, taken by Juju Gray. Takes it at about the 5. Angling near side, has some space across the 40. He's breaking free across midfield and finally dropped down inside the 40-yard line. Juju Gray, he is a special teams difference maker.
Yeah, you couldn't have drawn it up any better for Liberty's kickoff return team. You'll see Juju presses to the middle, works to the outside, gets the wedge out the kick out block, inside block right there, and is able to take it all the way down to the 41 or 39-yard line. Unbelievable play, just well executed special teams play. In a game like this, those are the plays that could be the difference maker.
Gray, the transfer from NC State, was top 3 in the ACC in kickoff return average the last 2 seasons. You can see why. Salter tries to set up a screen near side of the field. Gray again, nobody in front of him, down the sideline and finally bumped out of bounds at the 5. Juju Gray has taken over the second half.
What a great play by Gray, but I'm absolutely shocked. There was an open field hold by one of the Liberty offensive linemen here, and he just got away with it. I thought for sure in the open field at the point of attack that there was going to be a flag thrown, but there was. But what a well-designed football play, and then Juju Gray able to take it all the way down inside the 5-yard line.
Boy, and just like that, Western Kentucky goes, all right, we get a score, here we go. You go a huge kickoff return, a pass to Gray, Flames knocking on the door to the end zone. The give, Cooley is in. Too easy. Cooley rolls in his second of the day, and it did not take long for
at Cooley in the end zone, gave a spin of the ball, and then threw up the old school cabbage patch.
And a flag came in at the end of that as well. A late flag. Some arguing going on down there. Is that two-play, 38-yard, 39-second drive for the Flames to punch it into the end zone. Now we sort out the flags.
Back up, guys. Back up. Hey, in the butt.
Boy, he's got a whole committee there with him trying to sort this out.
What a response by Liberty, though. And it all starts with great special teams play, finding the alley for Juju Gray, come back to him with an excellent play call on the throwback screen, and just an easy punch in from Cooley.
It was a 56-yard kickoff return to start it all off. They're still trying to sort this out.
The result of the play is a touchdown. After the play was over, flagrant personal foul. Defense number 12. He is ejected.
Whoa. That's Chandler Matthews, the linebacker.
Also after the play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 75 offense, number 21 defense. Those penalties offset. All the penalties offset since they were dead ball. We will do the try. That is each player's first unsportsmanlike towards disqualification.
All right, so that's Jack Tucker, the tackle for the Flames, and Upton Stout, the stud defensive back for Western Kentucky, that both got the personal foul. So after all that, the biggest loss isn't in yardage, as that all kind of shakes out. It's Chandler Matthews, who his day is done.
Let's go back and...
Number 12 of Western Kentucky, for his flagrant personal foul, is disqualified.
And he just reiterates once again, Matthews done. He came in 44 tackles on the year. And so that is a big loss in the middle of that WKU defense.
Yeah, I'd like to see what happened there, that the ref would throw him out of the football game for his very first unsportsmanlike.
Usually something like that is a punch or something like that has to be thrown to get ejected like that. So Colin Carhew on for the extra point. He's up and through. So a quick answer from Liberty. It was a one-score game for about 39 seconds. That's how long it took for the Flames to go up 2 scores. 28-14 ball game. All right, we found what happened with Chandler Matthews. He's going to get up right there in the middle of the screen, and just a shot right there with the right hand to the midsection or lower of one Liberty player, and that is usually enough to end your day.
Yeah, you hate to see that.
So a loss for this Western Kentucky defense right now. They trail by a couple of scores, and I feel like Caden Veltkamp, you gotta keep finding a way to answer this. Sooner or later, you hope your defense can get a stop or two. Right now, you got to find a way to keep putting points on the board in this one.
I'll tell you this much, Matt. I know sometimes you get angry at me up here in the booth, but I hope you never do that to me.
Don't plan on it. I don't plan on it. Never say never, but I don't plan on it. All right, so 2 quick scores here to begin the second half. Western Kentucky drove the length of the field. Liberty responded with a touchdown of their own.
It's good that, hey, you get a drive right here and get yourself in a shootout. And it comes down to turnovers, who can make the plays.
Handoff up the middle. Nice run on first down. That carry, that was Jalen Hampton who got his first carry of the day.
Yeah, and that's where you've seen them have a little bit more success in their run, when it's not just a straightforward inside run, a little bit of a delayed run where it allows things to develop. Their inside run, those are the only opportunities where they've had some success. When they just try to throw it up to the inside on a quick run, there's just not much there.
Go right back to it. Hampton cuts near side. Good running room. First down yardage. And Western Kentucky moving the ball on the ground.
That's a great job by Hampton right there. He saw where the play was. The play was actually designed to go over to their left side, but he sees the collapse down. Jerome Jolly gets knocked down. He reads the cutback very quickly. Great job of vision by Hampton.
That's LT Sanders checking into the running back spot for Western Kentucky. To float it out to him, and that was well played by the Flames. They had pressure in the backfield. That was also covered up out in space as well, as that was Bryson Jennings who was all over it.
Yeah, Bryson Jennings did a really good job, good discipline there, trying to bring him down, get him sucked in, get his eyes taking the eye candy. He stayed disciplined to his responsibility and was able to cover that up.
Swings it out. Catch made by his running back here in the flat. Not much happening, maybe a yard or two, as that was LT Sanders on the grabs. Going to bring up 3rd and long. Yeah, would have liked to see Veldkamp just show a little bit more patience right there. They had a good concept down on the bottom of the field here. They were running a curl route to the outside with a wheel route. The curl route came open late. He just needed to hold on a little bit longer, so he didn't have to just dump it off to the back for a short gain. Messer and Hutchinson, those are the guys Veldkamp looks for in these kind of situations. Big 3rd down conversion here early in the 2nd half.
Yeah, Liberty had a blitz on, but they just called it off. You're only going to see him probably rush 3 or 4.
Veldkamp climbs in the pocket. There comes a pressure, fires a strike, it's caught. Keyshawn Johnson looks to have just enough for the 1st down.
That's a good job of Veldkamp by staying alive. They only brought the 4-man pressure, but he's able to stay alive in the pocket. There was nothing downfield. Gives the illusion that he's going to take off and run with it, and then throws it back against his body to pick up the 1st down with Keyshawn Johnson.
Veldkamp doing just enough to buy himself a little time there to allow his receiver to break free. Johnson 4 catches, 45 yards here this afternoon. Veldkamp climbs, now going to try to escape, throws to the far sideline. He was just getting rid of that football as pressure bearing down on him. That was Larry Jones, who was that close to getting to the quarterback.
Yeah, I really thought Veldkamp when he stepped up in the pocket. I think it was Messer that was in the slot. One of the best balls that he's throwing all day is that straight vertical route, and he had Messer had his man beat by a step. I'm surprised he didn't pull the trigger and try to make that throw.
Veldkamp got holding his hands out to his side, looking at the sideline, almost like I don't quite get what you're asking of me here. 5 on the play clock. They get it off. Fires near side, catch made. Keyshawn Johnson there along the sideline.
And that's a good job. That's a good job. Though once again, the simple play, just a little speed out. But now you've got a very manageable situation where you have both sides of your playbook open. You can run the football right here, or you can drop back and make the pass. Put yourself in a manageable position. And at this position of the field, also the opportunity to go for it on 4th down.
Absolutely. Hampton rolls out of the backfield. They're going to look to run. Designed run for Veldkamp right up the middle. Picks up the 1st down yardage and then some before sliding down inside the 25.
Yeah, great job by number 65, Rodney Newsome right there. You take a look, he does a great job getting the seal block back to the inside, getting up to that 2nd level. Design quarterback draw, well executed by the offensive line.
Just when you start to forget about Veldkamp and what he can do as a runner, he ends up converting on 3rd down.
Liberty's gone back to playing a lot more. They were heavy zone the 1st half. Now they're going back to playing a lot more man-to-man.
Veldkamp firing, trying to go a little back shoulder throw along the far sideline. Couldn't connect with Michael Matheson.
Yeah, Matheson's, for some reason, I think they're just not on the same page. Matheson bended that route back towards the inside, and Veldkamp was expecting him to hold to the outside and be able to throw that back shoulder fade. I got to say that's more on the receiver than it was on Veldkamp right there. But once again, more man coverage. We said early in that whole 1st half, they probably were 90% zone. Now they're going, there's your matchup. down here below, if you look down here, that's your matchup that you want on the man-to-man.
And off Sanders, can't get the edge. Liberty rallies to the football, and he gets about 1.5 yards on second down.
Hey man, I'm not sure who that was. That was Jerome Jolly, or number 6.
They've been Taylor Jackson.
Taylor Jackson right there did a great job of running over the top. Thought he had the angle to get to the outside. Taylor Jackson does an excellent job of running over the top, forcing that back in for a short gain.
Now the third down, 3rd and long.
Man-to-man across the board. They narrow their splits down. Expect some type of corner route.
And it's complete. First down, guess who? Easton Messer.
Yep.
When you're in a jam, look for number 8.
And they backed out of it right there. Liberty was in man, and then they went to zone. They gave a man look, and then they disguised to zone. Messer's able to set down in that hole, pick up the first down. You're starting to feel like Veldkamp's getting in a little bit of a rhythm right now.
A couple of 3rd down conversions on this drive.
And this is where you have to win. If you want any chance of this game, you've got to score touchdowns in the red zone.
And off Hart, he is met. Jerome Jolly met him in the backfield, and he'll stop him for a loss.
Yeah, real nice job by Jerome Jolly. Sometimes you take a look right here. Jerome Jolly's blitzing through it. Sometimes you have the right call on at the right time. They're running a run blitz right into an inside zone right there. So that's a great job by Jerome Jolly.
Backs him up 3 yards. 2nd and 13 now for the Hilltoppers. George Hart remains in the ball game at running back. Veldkamp firing one towards the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown. Keeping those feet in bounds was Keyshawn Johnson. And Western Kentucky's going to cut this to a 1-score game again.
Real nice throw by Veldkamp right here. And you see Keyshawn Johnson is one of the key players. They know they're getting man. They know their man beater is that back shoulder fade. Throws it right to the spot. Tap those toes. Touchdown.
The 6th touchdown reception for Western Kentucky's leading receiver, Keyshawn Johnson.
Matt, are we on the verge of an old-fashioned shootout right here? Are we on the verge? I don't want to say it yet.
It is getting close. Extra point up and through. 3:44 to go here in the 3rd. I'll tell you this. Caden Veldkamp is a cool customer.
Cooler than the other side of the pillow.
Maybe playing from behind, but he is keeping his squad in it. Oh, what a ball game that's developing here in Lynchburg today. 28-21. Liberty on top of Western Kentucky. WKU has scored touchdowns on each of their first 2 possessions of the half. Now Liberty about to get the football back.
Yeah, man, I just think defensively for WKU, you can't stay the course. You got to mix it up. You got to become multiple in your front. You're going to have to take some chances in the run game, because what they're doing right now, I don't think they can even begin to slow Liberty down. So what is your answer to that? The answer to that is, hey, let's make up, let's give them some new looks, let's give them some new blitz packs, let's take a few chances in order to create some turnovers to be able to get a chance to tie this football game or even take the lead.
First things first, they got to kick it away to Juju Gray. They're not even going to really give him the chance. Eventually that thing will roll back to him. Bobbles initially, gets it, spins, now turns it upfield. And he will step out of bounds at about the 27 or 28. So Western Kentucky, there's one adjustment for you. Let's not just kick it to number 1. All right, last drive for Liberty. It was Juju Gray. It was all about first the long kickoff return. You're going to see right here. He had a long one to open the game, you'll remember, but a flag ended up bringing it back. A lengthy return set the Flames up in a great spot. Very next play, first play from scrimmage, they go right back to Gray, who got it down inside the 10-yard line, and from there, Quentin Cooley punched it in. So Liberty taking the field here again, has had so much success running the football. They go right back to it, right up the gut, and they'll get about 6 or 7 on first down. That was Billy Lucas on the carry. Lucas now up over 80 yards on the ground here today.
Yeah, Lucas has been a great mix-up. Give Cooley a rest for a couple drives and keep him fresh. especially in the fourth quarter. The Cooley will wear on you, and if he can able to sit down, sit back for a couple drives, that'll really help him.
A little movement up front, and looks like this will back Liberty up 5 yards.
False start. Number 53, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
That's Jordan White. Liberty had just one penalty in the game before that, which if you followed Liberty at all this year, you know penalties have been a huge issue. So now you go from being in a great spot on second down to 2nd and 9.
That's soft. Just a 3-man front. They're going to run right. Oh, there it
Salter
goes.
pulls it. The pitch to Blue. Cuts it up, and he has first down yardage to the 40.
Yeah, the only way to stop that is you got. I mean, Salter could have handed that off. They had a 3-man front. Salter could have handed that off and still climb for some yardage, but then able to get the pitch out to Blue and pick up the first down.
Clock runs under 2.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Juju Gray in the ball game now in the backfield. Give it up the middle. Lucas continues to turn those legs and finally stood up. He gets about 6 yards. Billy Lucas had one of the biggest plays in this ball game.
Yeah, huge
and it was
play.
at the end of the first half. It looked like Liberty was just trying to run the ball, run out the clock, get to the locker room. But Western Kentucky just left the middle of that defensive line wide open, and Lucas took it about 35 yards, ended up giving Liberty an opportunity to score right before the half.
Yeah, Lucas is creeping up on 100 yards himself.
Got 6 on that last run. Uh-oh, flea flicker back to Salter. He's being pressured, can't spin out of it. Taken down back at the 35-yard line. Flames go to a little bit of a trick play, and Kent Robinson, the defensive back, coming off the edge, ends up taking Salter down.
Yeah, it's like the one time that you don't want to have the flea flicker on is when you get the blitz from the outside. So great job, though, of cutting that thing down. What they did really well is they covered well downfield. So when Salter got the ball back, they're expecting somebody to be wide open, and he was completely covered. This right here is an opportunity for WKU to make a stop and get off the field.
Boy, that was the play this Hilltopper defense needed. 3rd and 15 now. Here comes more pressure. Salter climbs, fires, caught across the 45 near the 40, and that's good for a first down. How about Dante Lee picking a great time to show up in this ball game?
And you got to give credit to Liberty's offensive line. And right there, I think that was Billy Lucas, blitzing linebacker, just picked him up straight through the middle just to give Salter enough time to step up. Little bit surprised at WKU on a 3rd and 15, played man across the board, brought the blitz, but Billy Lucas with the pickup of the blitz, allowing Salter to throw the ball downfield.
Now another flag flies, as it will be another penalty on the Flames. But you talk about a gut punch for that Western Kentucky defense. You get the big sack.
Number 84, offense.
As that goes against the tight end, Jacob Jenkins. But you get the big sack. You have him at 3rd and 15. And you end up giving up the big play to Dante Lee that goes for 24.
Yeah, that was an opportunity. That was an opportunity. Once again, just very, very surprised with how conservative that WKU has been on defense. And on a 3rd and 15, they decide to play man across the board and bring the blitz.
So it's 1st and 15 now. Lucas again weaving through traffic, spinning off a tackler, and down to about the 38-yard line.
Oh, he's running hard.
He is. Coming off one of his better games of the season. 11 carries, 95 yards against UMass just a week ago.
That's the end.
And that brings us to the end of the third quarter. It'll go quick when you're running the football like the Flames. They're up over 300 yards on the ground here today and clinging to a 1-score lead as we head to the fourth quarter. This presentation of college football is brought to you by Foster Fuels. Turn up the heat. And by Carter Bank and Trust, member FDIC. We head to the fourth quarter. Around here they call it the Flames quarter. In fact, Jamie Chadwell teams, here's your stat, Joe. They have won 44 straight games when leading heading into the fourth quarter.
44 in a row.
That goes beyond just his time here at Liberty, back to his Coastal days. They have found a way to close ball games out. They will have their hands full here over these last 15 minutes with this Western Kentucky squad. The give to Billy Lucas. Cuts it up, stays on his feet, falls forward to the 30-yard line, good for a first down. And with that run, Lucas goes over 100 on the day. Both he and Cooley now over 100.
Yeah, this Liberty inside running attack is death by 1,000 paper cuts to the WKU defense right now.
Lucas stays in, just the single back. They give it to him. And he just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
And that's where they've had their most success. They leave the bubble open and they bring that inside backer from the backside. When they've had their success stopping the inside run, that's their best blitz that they've used throughout the game.
It's been all about the Liberty ground game. 320 rushing yards. But this is the key. Western Kentucky, can you get them off schedule? They have here with no gain on first down. Go back to Lucas again, cuts it up and has the first down yardage. Well, you get him in a spot where you feel like, here we go, second and long, and Liberty goes right back to the well. When I said first down yards, he actually didn't get a great spot on that. It looked like he had fallen across the 20. They're going to mark it about a foot shy of the first down.
With it being so shallow, so close to a first down, wouldn't be surprised if Liberty tried to take a shot here. Probably not, but not a bad time to do it.
Juju Gray comes in motion. Salter pitches it to him out in space. Across the 20, taken down by Stout around the 16-yard line. Boy, you always get a little antsy when you get those pitches backwards on the 3rd and short.
And be thankful. Juju shows great speed to the outside here. The safety comes high over the top and has him, but he just has enough speed to get to the edge to pick up first down.
That was Upton Stout on the tackle. Told you he's a good player. He actually accepted his invite to the Senior Bowl a couple of weeks ago. Folks think he has a good shot to make plays on Sundays here in his future. Lucas options out of the backfield. Salter going to keep it. A little stiff arm and pushed out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. That was Anthony Johnson Jr. that came up to make the play.
Yeah, Salter came up a little gimpy at the end of that play. Looks like he's limping back to the huddle.
He was a little gimpy after that touchdown pass to Gray at the end of the first half. Trainers were looking at him on the sideline. He's toughing it out. Empty backfield here, 5 wide. Let's see, here comes Vaughn Blue and Lucas now back into the backfield. Second and 8. Give to Lucas, not much happening there. He ran right into Deontay McCray, the big defensive end. Wrapped him up and dropped him.
Yeah, you get a 3rd down here. Ball's at what, the 11-yard line. This is one of those times like WKU, if you can hold them to a field goal as well as you've been moving, the success you've had offensively, this will help keep you within arm's length. Yeah, they're crowding the box right now. They're not going to get playing man, cover 0 man across the board.
Reese Smith in the slot.
They're not giving them the run. They're trying to force him into passing. They're moving the back over.
Look at his defense completely shifted out of it.
Went zone.
Salter, time in the pocket, surveying the field. Now the pressure starts to come. Rolling out, fires towards the end zone. It's broken up. He was looking for Dante Lee in the end zone. Western Kentucky able to break it up, and it brings up 4th down.
Yeah, that's just a great job of adjustment by the WKU defense. They gave him the formation. Take a look right here. Just Salter nowhere to go with the ball downfield, but they gave them formation that said, hey, we're going to make you run the football. When they shifted and they had crowded the box, when they shifted, they switched to a zone, which confused Salter, and there was nothing there for the play.
So now a big field goal attempt for Colin Carhew. This one about 28, 29 yards. And did that thing get through?
Got through,
it got blocked and still went through. Oh, Colin Carhew, you are living right.
Carhew.
Goodness. Take another look. Somebody got a big paw on it. It had enough on it to climb over the crossbar. Well, when you get a field goal blocked and it still somehow manages to float through there, you can almost start thinking, is it our day? Maybe it's our day. Like, they got a paw on that thing and somehow it still had enough to make it in there from 29 yards out. Think about this. If that, like every other time you get your hand on the football, doesn't go. Yeah, Western Kentucky has all the momentum. They're down just one score. They're driving to try to tie this thing up.
Hey, but still, holding them to a field goal. If they could go down and score right here and 31-28 ball game, things are going to get real tight. This drive is huge.
The offenses have really been able to move the ball here in the second half. We saw kind of a slow start. We saw some turnovers. Nobody scored in the first quarter. Actually, really, since from the second quarter on, these offenses have seemed to kind of figure things out, and they've had a pretty good rhythm.
Yeah, and I like how WKU, to just stay ahead of the chains, has gone to the short passing game with the hitches and the speed outs on the outsides.
5 wide receivers to begin this possession. Quick pass broken up. Amarian Williams on the far side. He had the interception early in the ball game. Able to get there before Keyshawn Johnson was able to snag it and knock it to the turf.
Yeah, and that's just good anticipation, just like we talked about. They know that they've tried to stay ahead of the chains by throwing these quick hit routes, so he's able to squat on the ball and get his hand in there and break that up.
You're Western Kentucky, you've got to score on every possession the rest of the way. Okay, begin looking that direction. That one may have been partially deflected. This time caught, though, by Johnson, as he is able to break the first tackle and get out to the 40-yard line. Maybe TJ Bush that got a fingertip on that one as it was thrown to the far sideline.
I mean, I really like that. I mean, that's a gutsy call. I mean, you go back, the ball's just broken up, and you go back to the same hitch. And
look at that.
TJ Bush, okay.
I think it was quacking the entire way there.
He's got to even themselves out. You know, you got the one on the blocked field goal, now tipped there for completion for a first down.
Western Kentucky moves the chains. 10.5 to go here in this ball game.
Yeah, 5-man box right here. Should see an inside run. Nope, hold it.
Has time, now flush from the pocket. And he'll just step out of bounds with about a 1-yard gain.
I was a little bit surprised right there when you get they gave a 5-man box right there. The read was an inside run. Pulled it out though, be able to pick up a yard. Once again, let's see what type of look that Liberty gives them defensively. They've been playing a ton of man coverage across the board.
Hampton, the running back in the ball game. Belkamp, pressure comes. TJ Bush nearly got to him to throw downfield. Oh, nearly adjusted to make the grab was Dalvin Smith. He slammed on the brakes, couldn't quite reach back and snag it.
I think Dalvin Smith thought he just had a clear out there and he wasn't really looking for it. And I don't know if they were able to get a hand on the quarterback. No, he's able to throw that cleanly. Big third down right here.
3rd and long.
If you're Liberty, this is exactly what you want. You know they got to throw the ball. Bracketing up top. Or, I'm sorry, they're going straight man coverage, man free across the board. Should bring pressure right here. It's either going to be a 5-man pressure or a full-out 6-man blitz.
Call timeout. Timeout. Western Kentucky calls a timeout before this big 3rd down play.
Timeout. Western Kentucky, their first of the half. This will be extended into a full media.
So you hate to have to use them, but they want to make sure they're on the same page here. Western Kentucky down 10. 31-21, 9:51 to go in this ball game. Let's check in quickly with Emily Austin.
Yeah, guys, I've seen a team of Liberty trainers working on Caden Salter's right wrist or hand area. I saw a little cut or something. I asked Elijah Levenway. He goes, he'll be just fine.
He'll be just fine.
Merely a flesh wound.
Big 3rd and 9 coming now for Western Kentucky.
All right, let's see what we got. Looks like it's a cover 2, 2 high safeties. You take a look right here. 2 high safeties right there. Playing man. Press to the outside. No, they adjusted. Nope, staying two-man across the board.
Belkamp. He may look to run, now pulls it down, fires it outside to his running back. It falls incomplete. Well, that thing just broke down at the last second. He tried to fire it to George Hart, but it was well covered.
Yeah, that was just a great job by Liberty team. What they did is they played two-man across the board, but they kept a spy in the middle. And then Belkamp stepped up. That spy was right there. He knew he couldn't beat him with his legs to pick up the first down with the run, so he had to try to dump it off to the side. Just a really well-executed defensive play by Liberty.
So just for the second time today, Cole Maynard comes on to punt. Brylan Green back to return it for the Flames. A low spiraling punt. Green chases it down at about the 13. He's surrounded and pushed out of bounds. A little something extra on the end of that. Fortunate for Western Kentucky that they weren't flagged on that one as it goes out of bounds. Liberty football with 9:34 to go. Flames try to see if they can't close this ball game out. Well, it's been all about the ground game for the Liberty Flames here today. It's been a combination. Billy Lucas, that was the big run late in the first half. He's had a great game. Quentin Cooley's been in the end zone a couple of times. And Liberty as a team, 339 rush yards. Now you get to the situation where everybody knows you're going to run it.
Yeah.
And you still grind it out here in a late game situation with the lead. You take a look at what these two guys have done today. First time this season they've both gone over 100. It's Cooley in there right now to begin this possession, along with Von Blue. They give it to Cooley, breaks the first tackle, has the first down, lowers the shoulder, a little extra contact as he makes his way out of bounds near the 30-yard line.
And that's a problem that Cooley gives you. A lot of the time throughout the process of this game, there's been a lot of big holes, but when there's not like that right there, just like you said, breaks the first tackle. He's able to get through the line and get to that second level quickly with just his strength alone.
Let's quickly check in with Emily.
Yeah, guys, but when you ask Cooley about that, he credits his own O-line, saying if it wasn't for my front, I don't know what I'd do. They open up those holes for me, and that allows me to make people miss.
Yeah, this has been one of the better games for Liberty's offensive line, one of the better games for Quentin Cooley, rumbling his way into Western Kentucky territory. They have no answer for this Liberty run game today.
Yeah, and they're mixing it up right now. They're doing what they want. That was just a little quick G-pull play. When I say G-pull, I'm talking about the guard. You're going to see the guard pull around right there and get that kick-out block on the defensive end. That's textbook. That's first day at camp. Install that in the running game, and a very standard play that they're just blocking up real well right now and freeing up Cooley.
He is running wild in this ball game. 2 first downs quickly on Gibbs and Cooley. They go right back to him. Able to get about 4 yards on that carry. Cooley up to 156 yards on the ground. Liberty averaging about 7.5 yards a carry here today.
Yeah, you got to give credit to Bill Durkin, offensive line coach. They're running a lot of multiple looks within the run game and different plays, whether they're using the tight end on the kickouts or the guard on the kickouts, the inside zone, outside zone, option game. They've just got a whole bunch of different plays that they're throwing at WKU in the run game.
Give back to Cooley again. This time cut down after a short pickup. That was Sebastian Benjamin there on the tackle, and now brings up a big third down for Western Kentucky's defense.
Yeah, then you're in that sort of where do we go right here? It's third and what is it, about 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. You open up. They've only passed, I believe Salter's passed for less than 100 yards this game, but it looks like they're going to go empty. This is where you see the pass or Salter on the quarterback draw, shifting back in, expecting a blitz.
Cooley back into the backfield. Smith in motion. They're going to roll Salter to the near side. Now looking to angle his way back. He may take off for it. He'll have the first down. How about the read from Caden Salter? Nothing was there. He reverses field and gets the first down with his legs.
And that's exactly what you think as a defense. You're like, we got these. We had the right call on. They feel as if they've got them dead to rights. They're coming through. Salter's trying to throw the quick out. There's nothing there. And he's able to use his legs, cut all the way back against the grain and pick up the first down. That is what is beyond frustrating for a defensive coordinator when Salter does that to you.
So not only does Liberty move the chains, but maybe just as importantly, they keep that clock moving. Taking down to 6.5 minutes to go in this ball game. Salter wanted to pitch, thought better of it, and then ends up just getting wrapped up and dropped. Didn't like what he saw as he turned to pitch it out to Juju Gray, and I guess in this situation, as it was Guidry that got him to the ground, you'd rather him just sit down and hang on to the football than pitch one in a dangerous spot. But Liberty ends up losing 4 yards on the play.
Yeah, I still think even Liberty, they've been picking up so much yardage in the run game with chunk yardage. 2 backs right now that they just keep running right at them.
That's exactly what they do. Cooley hiding behind that offensive line, now lowers his shoulder. Continues to move the pile down inside the 35-yard line. So about cuts it in half what they needed, and it'll give them a little bit more manageable 3rd down opportunity.
Yeah, and I think 100% this is 2-down territory for Liberty. Even though they have the lead, they feel as if they can just pick up a couple more 1st downs just for the clock alone, they may be able to put this out of reach.
So 3rd and 6, and to your point, if you're thinking about this being 4-down territory, you can certainly run it again right here. They will not. Salter looking to throw. Fires, caught. Dante Lee Jr. again. He's had 2 catches today. Both have been critical 3rd down conversions.
Yeah, that was a great job. They brought an inside blitz. You're going to see an inside blitz come right there. Cooley slides over, picks up the blitz, gives Salter enough time. Dante Lee's just on a little drag route directly across the field. Salter delivers the ball, 1st down. Well executed, but a great job by Cooley, able to give Salter that little bit extra time with the blitz pickup.
He had 8 receptions on the season coming in. He's had 2 today. Both of them have been big. So now you'd expect Liberty to keep turning around and hand it to number 20. There you go, Cooley. Guidry wraps him up, drops him only about a yard, maybe 2-yard gain on the play. And Cooley, they got shaken up a little bit on the end of that. You can see him kind of grabbing his head, stumbling out of there a little bit. He's going to make his way to the sideline.
Yeah, looks like Cooley got slammed down on the turf there.
So he exits the ball game. Billy Lucas comes back in. Give it to him. He stays on his feet. Hit initially, kept his feet, was able to surge forward again and pick up a couple of more yards. He'll be just shy of the 1st down marker.
Billy Lucas is running with a little anger this afternoon. He's usually not like that, but his ability to finish runs has been fantastic. Start running that play clock down.
3rd and short. Go back to Lucas again, straight up the gut, down inside the 5.
Yeah, there's no stopping them. There's no stopping them. They are. WKU front has not been able to make stop all day. It's late in the 4th quarter, and Liberty offensive line is walking around like they just sat down at the Golden Corral buffet.
Western Kentucky.
Well, when we talked to Jamie Chadwell this week, I said, what part of your team are you most confident in right now? And he said the offensive line.
Yeah.
I said that was at the beginning of the group you said you were least confident in.
Yeah.
But he said, boy, these guys have gotten more experience. You can see them growing week over week, and that's Big Bill Durkin, offensive line coach at work.
You remember we talked to Coach Chadwell before the season, and I think by now we could go ahead and say it. He said, hey, we may have to be a little bit more of a passing team this year because I'm not sure how good we're going to be on that O-line. And well, Coach, just hold on a second here. You let Big Billy Durkin, All-American from UMass, former player, go to work, and they got a solid offensive line that has just dominated the trenches today.
And keep in mind, a lot of this, especially in the second half, has come.
Look at Dirks.
He's fired up.
Look at him. Huh?
A lot of this has come without starting tackle Xavier Gray here in the second half as well, and they haven't missed a beat. Meanwhile, Cooley making his way to the tent. They'll check him out. May not mean much for this game, but do keep in mind Liberty has to win next week at Sam Houston as well. So Cooley healthy for that. Lucas again, a little stutter step. Now lowers the shoulder, gets a yard.
And that's your best shot. What WKU did right there. They try to time up their blitz and just create a mess up the front. Which they haven't done a lot of that this game, which has surprised me a little bit.
Timeout, Western Kentucky.
It's one of those things, and I'm sure Western Kentucky fans are pulling their hair out a little bit in that it was the big story coming in, right?
Yeah.
Boy, they haven't stopped the run. Speaking of Western Kentucky, and that's the strength of Liberty. And so it's like, all right, so what are they going to do differently? Will they show something different than what we've seen the last couple of weeks to be able to commit to slowing down the run and force the ball, force Caden Salter to make plays through the air?
Yeah, and
they just were never able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, the philosophy this year after watching Liberty last year was eliminate explosive plays or try to reduce them the best you can. The problem with that is that you've got such good running backs and Billy Lucas and Quentin Cooley and an offensive line that is just pushing people around right now. So I really feel that at some point you have to make the decision that we got to get more players in the box. We got to bring more exotic blitzes, do something that can become more disruptive to the running game.
Salter going to keep it, follows Lucas in, touchdown Flames. Salter gets into the end zone, and that'll probably do it.
Yeah, that's a dagger drive. That's inside the tackles all the way down the field. Salter,
he's a little
polished it off. He is a little gimpy.
So the Flames, in that ground game, over 400 yards rushing. Salter saying, you know what, Lucas, Cooley, you guys have gotten in the end zone. Let me take my turn. He's still limping around on that sideline. Extra point from Parkview. Up and through, and Liberty has scored 38 today on this Western Kentucky defense. This is a defense that throughout the Alabama game in the opener, they only give up about 16.5 points per ball game.
Liberty offense finding the right time of the year to get rolling. Salter looks like he's in a lot of pain.
On that last drive, Cooley goes out to the 10. Salter limping off the field. And once again, we'll reiterate it. Liberty's only chance to make it to the Conference USA Championship game is by winning now next week on the road at Sam Houston. How healthy will they be? That'll be the story heading in to the weekend. And as it is, they will celebrate this one. Just didn't know what to expect. Liberty had been so up and down all season long. You'd seen glimpses. And Jamie Chadwell telling us this week, I know we're good enough. I know we have the guys. We can be good enough to go on a run here late and put it all together. Just hadn't seen it yet. It came together today. Tyson Helton is going to have to find some answers here leading into their game next week. They will be hosting Jacksonville State.
So Jacksonville State has a lock on it.
Yeah, so not a lot really on the line at all for Jacksonville State. They're going to host.
So you wonder if Jacksonville State will how they'll play it. Exactly. If they got some guys banged up, or they know that they're already in the conference championship.
But now Western Kentucky also needs help. Not only do they need to win next week, they need Liberty to lose.
Right. So they need to win and winning on their end, and a loss by Liberty against Sam Houston State.
Well, Kent continues to fire. That one broken up. Marvin Williams, he's had himself a really nice. Started with the interception. He's had a couple of pass breakups as well.
you're starting to see this thing sort of play itself out. You know, the Sam Houston, I'll tell you this much, Sam Houston, I know their front four is very physical, and I think Liberty next week is going to have a much more difficult time being able to run the football against them.
Game actually on Friday. 3:30 kick. Velkamp gonna keep it, run, takes a shot at the end of that. It'll be a couple yards shy of the first down.
Got to move quick here, get another play in, get the first down before the 2-minute timeout.
4th and 2. His second interception of the ball game, and that one will likely seal it. And great job. I think Velkamp was a little shaken up after that last run. He was a little slow to get to his feet, and he ends up throwing his 3rd interception of the day.
Yeah, great job. Like, see the replay on here. Just make sure he caught it. This is an excellent catch. He made the play.
The ruling on the field is an interception.
Yeah, he caught that.
Yeah, nothing on that angle made you think any different.
Great job by Liberty secondary today. I think that was at the 3rd or 4th interception
of the day. 4th turnover. This is a Liberty team that had forced 10 turnovers on the year. See Ryan Berger come in at the quarterback position to just salt this one away.
Berger is a great opportunity as a future starting quarterback at Liberty. Was at Appalachian State before this. Was actually their starter there, and then got injured early, very early in the season, and transferred to Liberty.
Bob Blue running the football for about 4 yards. Will get us to the 2-minute timeout. As Liberty, their backs against the wall, had to have a great performance today, and did they ever get one? 38-21, Flames trying to close it out. (38-21). Joe, show us this last touchdown.
Yeah, I tell you, look, the center, old school, smashing the mouth football. You're going to get the snap, and then he's going to come down the line. You get a kick out on the defensive end, and then you're going to see Lucas power up through there, and then Salter just follows him in the end zone for the touchdown. The block on number 14 right there. This is just old-fashioned, old school. Here's the kick out. Here's the power block. There's the end zone. It's a touchdown. That's what they refer to in the world of boxing as a knockout punch.
It was that. This offensive line has been delivering some today for Liberty. James Jointer in the ball game now. He'll take the handoff and fall forward for a couple. All right, so let's take a look at the updated standings in Conference USA after today's action. Jacksonville State, we told you, 7-0. They're going to host the championship game on December 6th. Meanwhile, you've got a log jam. 3 teams, 5-2. Liberty controls its own destiny with a win at Sam Houston next week. So still a lot to be determined, but Jacksonville State can sit back, put their feet up, and know they're going to be hosting a conference championship game.
Old Rich Rod.
Old Rich Rod getting it done. One more run. Joyner runs into a wall of defenders. Stood up at the 30-yard line. The clock continues to roll. These Liberty coaches have to feel pretty good seeing this kind of performance today.
Yeah, they've been struggling along, especially offensively, and to be able to run the football. And then even though Salter's numbers weren't great from the passing side of things, he made some 3rd down throws. He made a really nice touchdown throw when they needed it. So he was much more efficient from that aspect.
Yeah, just 6 of 11 for 108 yards and a touchdown. So they didn't ask a lot of him throwing the football. Why would you need to when you ran the ball for about 7 yards a pop?
Oh, he's got him.
Ryan Berger's going to throw it. Look at that. Sibley with the catch, and he's taken down at the 1-yard line. Sibley, the senior, they were trying to get him one more score in Williams Stadium, And he's tackled at the 1.
Yeah, they really crowded the offensive line 4th down and said, no, hey, we're going to give you. And a good surprise move over the top. Sibley, nice throw by Berger.
I think I heard a Berger chant from the crowd across the way after that.
That should do it. I don't think the Liberty will snap it again and come on, shake hands.
So the Flames in a must-win situation delivered, I think it's fair to say, their best ball game start to finish here today.
100%.
The defense forces 4 turnovers. The offense puts 38 on the board and rushes for 419 yards.
That's a lot of yards.
That's a lot of yards, and a huge win for Liberty as they keep their conference title game hopes alive. Now a short week for them. They'll hit the road, head to Sam Houston. Meanwhile, Western Kentucky will play host to Jacksonville State next week to finish out their regular season as well. So for Joe Yock, Emily Austin, our entire team, I'm Matt Warner saying so long from Lynchburg, Virginia, where the final score once again, Liberty 38, Western Kentucky 21. Remember, all games on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.